Chapter 3009. The mysterious boss behind the great divine Lord definitely could not be ignored. Qin Yun suddenly felt a strong sense of danger. If it was only facing the great divine Lord, he would not feel any pressure. As long as he made preparation step by step and raised his own strength, it would be fine. But now, he knew that the great divine Lord was not alone. On the surface, he was relying on the heaven-splitting ancient clan. What he did not expect was that he had also found another mysterious and powerful backer. Boss! Boss! Yang Dingyuan broke Qin Yun's train of thought. When he saw that Qin Yun attached great importance to the mysterious boss, he realized that the rumors about the mysterious boss were true. It's nothing. After we finish robbing that warehouse, you had to quickly find a way to earn Divine Universe Golden Stones. We have to cut off a source of wealth as soon as possible, Qin Yun said. I will do my best to do it. Yang Dingyuan nodded. Because Qin Yun had promised to split the profits with him, as long as there was profit, he would naturally work hard. It had to be known that when he was with the great divine Lord, the great divine Lord would give them alms from time to time like he was giving to a dog. Later on, he would even squeeze them dry. Qin Yun's sense of danger was not only because of Malheur. The main reason was that a mysterious and powerful race had arrived in the divine desolate land. The reason why Malheur's divine universe power was not strong was mainly because she had been treated badly since she was young. If she had been properly nurtured with her talent, she would definitely have grasped a very powerful divine universe power at a young age. This meant that the living beings in Malheur's hometown might belong to the middle and high-level living beings, or one of the middle and high-level living beings. In the past, Qin Yun did not understand the difference between the high and low-level living beings. When he found out that many new powerful races had appeared in the divine desolate land, he gradually understood. The babies of those powerful races that had just appeared possessed a certain amount of divine universe power. Those with good aptitude could even directly become babies of the divine universe realm. A long time ago, when humans were just born, they were pitifully weak. A single virus could kill a large number of humans. And now, as long as a human was born in the divine desolate land, even if it was just a baby, their strength would be extremely powerful. Although they could not compare to those strong races, they were still higher than the humans in the immortal desolate land. Qin Yun was born as a very weak mortal in this life. He had experienced many years in order to reach his current cultivation. The reason why babies were so strong when they were born was mainly because of their environment. The divine desolation of the heavens and the divine sun of the myriad realms could affect the strength of the bloodline in a living being's body. The factors that determined the quality of the lower life forms were also determined by the environment. The boundary that the nine-yang Dharma spirit wanted to break through was for the living beings born in its territory to be powerful from the very beginning. After entering the heavens' divine wilderness era, Qin Yun had a deep understanding of it. Every time the myriad realms' divine sun appeared, the powerful races that were born would be stronger than before. And this time, the new races were especially powerful. They were born with very powerful bloodline heavenly runes. Nine yang Dharma spirits must have found a way to imprint their bloodline heavenly runes. Whether or not the divine wilderness could become a cradle for higher life forms would depend on whether or not the nine yang Dharma spirit could break through the boundary of imprisonment. Once it was broken, the golden age of the divine wilderness great era would arrive. The reason why Qin Yun thought of this is because he believed that Malheur's hometown was a world of middle and high-level life forms. However, they could not advance any further. The divine universe golden stones became rare and dried up. This should be the most obvious sign of their world's decline. But even so, a starving camel is still bigger than a horse. A place that could nurture middle and high-level life forms could still be maintained for a period of time. And during this period of time, those life forms might try to find a way out. The heavens' divine wilderness might be their way out. They found this place, and with their formidable strength, once they clashed with the native powers, it would be a war. It seems like the nine-yang Dharma spirit is still very concerned about the life forms in the heaven's divine wilderness. Otherwise, it would not have taken a risk to open the outerverse passage and absorb the outerverse energy to cultivate a powerful divine Sunday. With a powerful divine sun, it can quickly nurture higher-level life forms, even faster than the great heaven opening clan's disciples. Only like this can it resist the foreign enemies. Qin Yun sighed in his heart. He gradually realized that his vision was greatly limited, causing him to be unable to see further. After all, the nine-yang Dharma spirit is the spirit of an extremely large celestial body like the myriad realms' divine Sunday. It can see very far. Even if the heavens' divine wilderness does not have powerful enemies from the outerverse, it still has enemies from this universe. The heavens' divine wilderness can be said to be this universe's unprecedented super cradle. In the future, it will give birth to 9 super powerful divine suns. Even the outerverse may not have any. Once the nine-yang Dharma spirit truly cultivates 9 super powerful divine suns, this place will become a paradise for all life forms. However, the fighting on this piece of land was bound to be extremely tragic. This God King is not easy. Qin Yun sighed in his heart again. Now it seems that the nine-yang Dharma spirit opening a passage in the 9-sun Holy Land has more disadvantages than advantages. Although sealing the 9-sun Holy Land requires a large amount of resources, that passage leads to many universes. It can allow the nine-yang Dharma spirit to obtain energy from many universes and cultivate even stronger myriad realms' divine suns. This is not a loss for the nine-yang Dharma spirit. Qin Yun looked at the nine-yang Dharma spirit's actions in a new light. Although it seems very dangerous, that is only for the life forms of the heavens' divine wilderness. It temporarily poses no threat to the nine-yang Dharma spirit. Furthermore, the nine-yang Dharma spirit has roped in the heavens splitting ancient clans' divine sun hunters, allowing them to protect the heavens' divine wilderness. This is equivalent to the nine-yang Dharma spirit's protection against the enemies from the outer universe, as well as other life forms that covet the heavens' divine wilderness. The heaven-splitting ancient clan wants to break through. They need to break through that taboo and become even stronger. This also requires the nine-yang Dharma spirit's protection. The heaven-splitting ancient clan is currently in a very dangerous situation, so they have to unite. The heaven-splitting ancient clan is desperately exaggerating the strength of the outerverse in order to unite the people's hearts. It seems like they're not only targeting the outerverse. Qin Yun took a deep breath. He recalled what Yu Li Fan said before. They're looking for some observers. The upper-class people have placed observers in their heaven-splitting ancient clan. It seems like the heaven-splitting ancient clan's upper echelons have always been secretly plotting. They want to break through and become even stronger, which means that they will be consigned to eternal damnation at any time. They will be suppressed by the upper-class people. Qin Yun sat in the carriage. His expression is gloomy. Only now did he realize that the entire heaven's divine wilderness, myriad realms' divine sun, heaven's divine moon, and the heaven-splitting ancient clan's life and death are practically tied together. This seems to be the nine-yang Dharma spirit's intention. It wants everyone to fall into this kind of situation together. Then, everyone will break through in this desperate situation. If they can't break through, everyone will die together. The nine-yang Dharma spirit is crazy. Qin Yun cursed in his heart. The great divine king is the person chosen by the nine-yang Dharma spirit. Now, there are powerful races that are not from the heaven's divine wilderness that have come into contact with the great divine king. They have even taken him in. This means that the powerful life forms from the outside world have already gradually infiltrated the heaven's divine wilderness. Chapter 30:10. Qin Yun only needed to hear Yang Dingyuan mention the mysterious boss to know that the situation in the Divine Desolate is far more complicated than he imagined. After all, the Divine Desolate is so big. It is impossible for him to control the situation in the Divine Desolate at all times. Even the 9-yang Dharma spirit cannot. However, the 9-yang Dharma spirit can predict the general direction and carry out simple arrangements. It can make more powerful races appear in the divine desolate and make the native creatures of the divine desolate stronger so that they can protect this land. Boss, why do you think a person like the great divine lord would recognize someone else's boss? How strong is that guy? Yang Dingyuan is very curious. It means that that person is very strong. Furthermore, his conditions are enough for the great divine lord to bow his head. Of course, the most important thing is that he is too strong, so strong that the great divine lord feels despair. Qin Yun said. Yang Dingyuan understood it very well. Just like when he faced Qin Yun, there was only despair. He was so desperate that he did not resist and only wanted to kneel down. That was why he could sit in the carriage and chat with Qin Yun calmly. After being taught by Qin Yun, Yang Dingyuan has grown a lot. Furthermore, he was once the Yang ancient clan emperor. After wandering the cosmos for many years, he has thought of many things. Our heaven-splitting ancient clan's ancestors have been wandering the cosmos, spreading the descendants of divine sons, mainly to destroy them. Over the years, they have successfully destroyed many divine sons. Later on, our ancestors felt that they could not increase their strength, so they split into many groups and left this cosmos. Yang Dingyuan said, now they have returned. Because there is no cosmos, their bloodline is incomplete. Qin Yun said, their bloodline is incomplete, so they're even more unable to break through that boundary. Yang Dingyuan's eyes widened. He quickly nodded and said, that's right. After returning, although their bloodline is complete, it is sealed by some kind of power. Once we break the seal, then what? Previously, Yu Yuan said that their heaven-splitting ancient clan is considered middle-class people. They are restricted to the middle class and cannot rise. However, Yuli said that their heaven-splitting ancient clan is nothing in the eyes of the upper-class people. Qin Yun secretly guessed that the heaven-splitting ancient clan should still be in the lower class. Destroying divine sons everywhere is considered hard work. The people in the middle were most likely those from Malur's hometown. They could live in their homeland until the resources were exhausted and they were destroyed. For example, the heaven-splitting ancient race didn't have a home. They drifted around the universe, and even though they constantly reproduced, they couldn't break through because of the lack of resources. That was why they treated the divine wilderness as their home. How could the ancient heaven-opening clan, which had no home to return to, be part of the middle class? The ancient people who had found their homes believed that they could advance to the next level, so they wanted to break through to the middle level. This was not a problem in terms of resources. The divine wilderness could provide them with sufficient resources. However, this was a taboo. From the moment they were born, they were branded with the bloodline of the lower-level creatures. If they dared to break through, it was equivalent to breaking the taboo. The more Qin Yun thought about it, the more worried he became. He was still too weak. If the heaven-splitting ancient clan was taken care of ahead of time, the divine wilderness would definitely be implicated. Boss, we are almost there, Yang Dingyuan said in low voice, breaking Qin Yun's contemplation. Qin Yun returned to his senses and took out the myriad heaven divine saber. He tightly held the saber and sensed the power of the bloodline heavenly rune within it. The myriad heaven divine saber fused with a bloodline heavenly rune box. That bloodline heavenly rune box has a small universe sealed inside. Although the pocket universe was sealed, the energy released by the pocket universe could affect the saber and make it even more sturdy. In battle, as long as the weapon is strong enough, it will have a great advantage. It has been a long time since Qin Yun held the saber with such a heavy heart. He gently caressed the saber's body. This saber has many stories, and it has accompanied him for many years. He didn't know how long this saber would be able to fight with him, and whether it would be able to retreat unscathed every time they fought. Yang Dingyuan already noticed that after Qin Yun knew that the great divine king had a mysterious boss, his entire person changed. Boss, is something big going to happen? The corner of Yang Dingyuan's eyes twitched as he asked in a low voice. How long has it been since you last went to that warehouse? Qin Yun is still looking at the saber and asked indifferently, "It's been more than a month." Yang Dingyuan said with a frown, "Boss, are you worried about the great divine king changing people to take care of the warehouse?" Qin Yun shook his head and said, "I'm worried that the owner of that mine is not the great divine king or the Yang ancient clan. If the rumor said that the mysterious boss of the great divine king was someone else, Qin Yun might not believe it. However, if it said that it was the cat-eared people, Qin Yun believed that it was true. The cat-eared people from Allur's hometown were extremely lacking in divine universe golden stone. Now that he had come to the divine desolate land and had even become the boss of the great divine king, it meant that it was extremely likely that the great divine king would tell the cat-eared people about the divine universe golden stone mine. If the location of the divine universe golden stone mine was very secretive, even if they robbed that place, it wouldn't cause any commotion. Impossible. The Yang ancient clan is not that weak. Yang Dingyuan shook his head repeatedly. The Yang ancient clan is not weak, but the enemy is very strong. Furthermore, the main force of the Yang ancient clan is not in that mine, and there is no teleportation formation to reach it. If it is robbed by a super strong force, do you think the Yang ancient clan people guarding that mine will be able to defend it? Qin Yun asked. Yang Dingyuan swallowed his saliva and said with a fearful expression, "Boss, are you saying that the great divine king gave away that mine to that mysterious boss of his?" Qin Yun did not answer and only said, "That's why we have to be careful. We will get off the car now and carefully sneak over." At night, Qin Yun and Yang Dingyuan concealed themselves and carefully flew through a large mountain. Late at night, they arrived near a huge mine pit. Many of the huge mountains in the vicinity of the mine pit seemed to have been uprooted by two roots and then laid flat on the ground. Some of the huge mountains were even shaken and cracked. The earth cracked. With a glance, one could tell that a very intense battle had taken place here, and it had happened not long ago. Yang Dingyuan's scalp already went numb because everything here was different for what he was familiar with. Even the mine pit was much bigger than before. Furthermore, they had encountered an invisible barrier. If they flew another 2 feet forward, they would touch the barrier, and it was extremely likely that it would cause a huge commotion. "Boss, where are the Yang ancient clan people?" Yang Dingyuan's voice trembled. "They should all be dead." Qin Yun sighed. This mine was developed by the great divine king and the Yang ancient clan. The Yang ancient clan people were mainly in charge of mining and defense. And according to the news that Qin Yun had seen in the magic mirror over the past few days, there was no news of a great battle here. This meant that the Yang ancient clan people in this mine were either killed in a short period of time or were secretly isolated, unable to send out a call for help. Then what about us? Yang Dingyuan's body was somewhat cold. He was afraid. "Wait for me outside." After Qin Yun finished speaking, he took out the divine mirror of primal beginning and shone it on the extremely concealed barrier in front of him. Chapter 30:11. Qin Yun plans to go in and explore by himself. Yang Dingyuan is too weak. Bringing him along won't be of much use, so he left him outside to wait. He is still very useful to Qin Yun, so Qin Yun doesn't want him to die. Qin Yun can move a lot more easily by himself, especially when he is hiding. The divine mirror of primal beginning quickly opened an entrance on the barrier. Moreover, it hasn't moved at all. After Yang Dingyuan saw Qin Yun enter, he quietly distanced himself from the barrier and waited for Qin Yun. After Qin Yun entered the barrier, he took out the magic mirror and tried to contact the outside world. However, he discovered that it was completely isolated. Not to mention that he can't contact the outside world through the magic mirror. Even if he used the soul-chasing talisman, there wouldn't be any reaction. Qin Yun, this barrier is very terrifying. If it was really set up in a short period of time, I can't think of any power in the divine desolate that could set it up. Even if you and I join hands, it would take at least a few months. Taisher transmitted his voice to Qin Yun. Maybe it's the formation pillars and flags that have been made long ago, or something else. Qin Yun looked around and said, after they arrive, they can quickly set up the formation after placing those things down. It's not this kind of simple and fast formation. If it's really like that, the young ancient clan can break it. Taisher said, in order to make it watertight, they definitely won't use that kind of formation. Qin Yun understood that the great formation that enveloped the mine was similar to a naturally formed formation. This kind of formation was set up according to the local environment. Even if they already had the materials to set up the formation, they would need time to adjust the other details if they wanted to fuse with the earth. However, according to the information provided by Yang Dingyuan, this mine should have been seized in a short period of time. It seems like those guys don't want to alarm the heaven-opening ancient race. They want to do it quietly? Why is that? They are powerful, so they shouldn't be cowering like this. They could just openly snatch it. Qin Yin landed half a meter above the ground and slowly flew close to the ground. After becoming invisible, he can use the heavenly eye to not be discovered, and he can see very far. This means that they don't dare to move around in the divine desolate with great fanfare. If the divine desolate is an environment for low-level life forms, then middle-level and high-level life forms can't come here. If high-level beings were to restrict low-level and mid-level beings from ascending to the next level, then they would have to ensure that the rules weren't broken. When mid-level creatures come here, they can threaten low-level creatures, just like forcing low-level creatures to break through, said Taisher. However, the resources produced in Heavenly God Desolate's environment are definitely comparable to a middle-level life form's environment. Qin Yun believes that high-level life forms will not protect low-level life forms. Maybe it's the Nine Yang Dharma spirit that deliberately created this resource-rich environment to attract mid-level life forms to come and snatch it. Then, it would give the low-level life forms of the divine desolate an excuse to break through. Taisher said, if the higher life forms want to maintain order, they will definitely suppress the middle life forms. Then, the aliens will also be annihilated. Qin Yin scratched his head. The Nine Yang Dharma spirit scheme was too grand. It involved many aspects, and even involved the mysterious upper echelons. Now go and investigate clearly whether or not the middle-level life forms are moving around. The restrictions on middle-level life forms should be caused by the exhaustion of resources in their environment. They are very lacking in divine universe golden stones. In order to survive, they will definitely rob other middle-level life forms everywhere. Taisher said, the creatures in Heavenly God Desolate are all low-level life forms. Originally, they were even lower level that didn't even have divine universe realm cultivators. However, as the number of divine suns in the myriad realms continued to increase, the number of divine universe realm creatures also gradually increased. This is the evolution of the environment. Only those weak creatures that reach the divine universe realm can deeply understand this. At the same time, they're also very jealous of those who were born with divine universe realm cultivation. According to Yu Li Fan and Yuan, they are currently restricted to the divine universe realm. If they break through the divine universe realm, once they're discovered by high-level life forms, they will definitely be killed. This made Qin Yun think of the destroyer that Maluru mentioned. What kind of existence is the destroyer? Why do they want to destroy Maluru? Qin Yun asked Maluru. Those destroyers don't have cat ears. They are not creatures from her hometown. Could it be that the destroyer is a high-level life form? Only mid-level life forms can have more contact with them? Qin Yun is suddenly somewhat worried. If this is really the case, then the destroyer will definitely be able to find Maluru. Once someone in the heaven-opening ancient clan surpasses the divine universe realm, a powerful guy will appear and kill them. Then how can they find these people who have surpassed the divine universe realm? Qin Yun thought as he flew towards the mine. Before he even got close, he felt an aura rush over. He quickly hovered in the air and secretly urged the power of the nether sun. He began to restrain the aura of his body and began to devour it, allowing himself to completely merge with nature. Not long after, there are large carriages in front of him. There are dozens of large carriages, and they are all very large. They are tens of meters long and over 100 meters wide. They are all specially made. Qin Yun hovered in the air. He can see that the carriages are filled with large and small divine universe golden stones. These are divine universe golden stones that have just been dug out. Moreover, they are very pure and do not need to be refined. Around the carriages, there are many black cat-eared people. Some of them are standing on the divine universe golden stones, and some are flying beside the carriages. There are more than 50 of them. This group of cat-eared people have black hair and black tails. Even their skin is pitch black. Their faces are very wide. Their foreheads are protruding and their eyes are purple. The tail end of this group of cat-eared people is not furry. Instead, it has a very sharp thing that looks like a horn. This kind of cat-eared people is completely different from Monarch. They only have the same cat ears and tail. However, the aura on their bodies is very strong. Their divine universe power is very strong. They're at least at the 7th or 8th level of the divine universe realm. Also, their limbs have divine universe, heavenly bones. Taisher said, Qin Yun is secretly horrified. This group of cat-eared people seems to have relatively low status, but their strength is so terrifying. They have not cultivated the soul, divine universe. Taisher said again, you don't need to worry about being sensed. If they don't have 200 divine universe power, it will be very difficult for them to discover you. Qin Yun immediately asked Malur inside the 9-sun divine soul to determine whether or not these black cat-eared people are from her hometown. Maluru learned that Qin Yun has seen these black cat-eared people and said in shock, Big Brother Yun, they are from the royal family. They are the most powerful existence in my hometown. How much do you know about them? Qin Yun asked again. I have very little contact with the outside world since I was a child, but I was told since childhood that if I see black cat-eared people, I must kneel down because they are from the royal family. Maluru also doesn't know much. After all, she was tricked into looking for ores since childhood. Chapter 30:12. All right, I got it. Qin Yun took a deep breath and finally confirmed that the creatures from Miluo's hometown had come to the Divine Desolate. Big Brother Yun, the destroyer might be coming soon. I'm afraid. Miluo was very worried. Don't worry, Big Brother won't hand you over to them. You've seen the little Ant Queen. She's very powerful. She'll definitely be able to bring us safely away. Qin Yun said with a smile. The destroyer can also enter the dark space like the little Ant Queen. Miluo said again. This made Qin Yun unable to smile. What kind of existence was entering the dark space? Was the destroyer really the killer of higher life forms? Then why did they want to kill Miluo? Was Miluo too heaven-defying? From Qin Yun's point of view, Miluo's ability to find ores was nothing more than very strong. Oh, there was also Miluo's mental force, which could increase 10 times. This was indeed a bit awesome. Don't be afraid. No matter who comes, I won't let them bully Miluo. Qin Yun said, comforting Miluo. Miluo was very fond of this. She believed that Qin Yun was very strong, and then continued to happily eat with Momo and the others. Qin Yun continued to follow the dozen or so large carts below. They were transporting the Divine Universe Golden Stone, but he did not know where they were going. This damned Divine Desolate is clearly the Middle Earth, but it is occupied by a group of inferior life forms. They are not worthy of this Middle Earth. Even our homeland back then was far inferior to this Middle Earth. A cat-eared man cursed in a low voice as he conversed with the cat-eared man beside him. The cat-eared man, standing on the Divine Universe Golden Stone, picked up a piece of Divine Universe Golden Stone and placed it into his mouth to chew. His eyes were filled with resentment. What Middle Earth? Have you ever seen the Middle Earth with so many Divine Universe Golden Stones? This is the best in the Middle Earth, and it is evolving towards the High Earth. Why? Why can't we move openly here? This is clearly what belongs to us. Mother Faster's I really want to kill that group of lowly goods. They are not worthy of this top-quality Middle Earth. They are not worthy. Kill them all. Kill them all. A few cat-eared people were talking angrily. At this moment, a person who looked like a leader came over and coldly snorted. Kill them all? If we vent our anger on the High Earth, we will be killed. Boss, is Gao 2 still not going to make a move? The creatures of the Middle Earth will definitely be like us in the future, and will all be of the middle class. The lower class will forever be lower class. There's no way we can surpass them. A soldier was very unconvinced. Apart from us, they are all inferior goods. They had not surpassed the divine universe tier, yet they were still treated as inferior goods. Even if they have people who exceed the divine universe realm, they will also be finished off by the destroyer, that leader said indifferently. Why are we mid-tier? Because in our original homeland, when we were born, 1 in 10 would surpass the divine universe realm. Look at this land. They are at most in the first or second level of the divine universe realm when they are born. They can't even compare to the dogs that are born in our homeland. Meanwhile, when we are born, we are at least in the 6th level of the divine universe realm. When Qin Yun heard the leader's words, he was extremely shocked. The moment they were born, they were at least at the 6th level of the divine universe realm. Even their dogs were born at the 1st or 2nd level of the divine universe realm. The most frightening thing was that among the babies born, 1 in 10 would surpass the divine universe realm. In the divine desolate of the heavens, those at the 9th level of the divine universe realm were all seniors who had lived for many years. However, in a mid-tier world, the babies born had a possibility of surpassing the 9th level of the divine universe realm. With such a comparison, the divine desolate of the heavens really could not be any lower. But this place is clearly the best mid-tier world. As long as those few super-large divine suns are not extinguished, the divine universe golden stone here won't dry up. Our homeland's 3 super-large divine suns were all made half-dead by those damn divine sun descendants. Who knows? They might have already self-detonated by now. A youth cursed softly. Divine sun descendants were indeed experts at destroying divine suns. Even mid-tier life forms were also helpless against those divine sun descendants. Yeah, after coming here, the space of our storage magic treasures shrunk so much. The space here is much stronger than our original homeland, compressing the space of our storage magic treasures so severely. The space of their storage magic treasures was compressed, so they could only use large carriages to transport the divine universe golden stone. Qinya now knew that the destroyer really destroyed those life forms who crossed ranks. But he still did not understand. Milu, clearly had not crossed over yet, but was targeted by the destroyer. Just as he guessed, mid-tier life forms were very familiar with the destroyer, which meant that the destroyer was watching these mid-tier life forms even more closely. We came here to obtain the divine universe golden stone, so we should keep a low profile. You even said something about killing them all. Do you really think the destroyer is dead? Boss, just let the divine kings of this world help us dig out the divine universe golden stone. Why do you want us to take action? The leader sneered and said, "That's because you don't know how useless that divine king is. He couldn't even take down a mere divine sun hunter and was even scared to kneel by our king." Boss, we killed so many divine sun hunters. Will there be any problems? Will the destroyer find us? The youth who asked trembled all over. It could be seen how terrified they were of the destroyer. Don't worry, nothing will happen. According to the information the king has, the destroyer's main focus is on searching for that little girl. The destroyer has confirmed that the little girl has indeed appeared in this middle-tier world. The leader said. Qin Yun was extremely alarmed. He was sure that the little girl was Milu. He never thought that the destroyer had really come to the divine desolate of the heavens, and even focused on searching for Milu. The little girl really came here? Oh my god, she's going to be rich. With this little girl's ability to find ores, she will definitely be able to find a lot of divine universe golden stone. She won't die from eating. Has the destroyer found her? The leader shook his head and said, according to the king, the destroyer found some clues. The little girl appeared in the 9 Suns sacred land and left behind many traces. She found quite a few divine universe golden stones and successfully moved them away. However, with that little girl's ability, it shouldn't be possible. She definitely has someone by her side. Qin Yun immediately felt a chill down his spine. The destroyer had actually found the 9 Suns sacred land and even found the aura left behind by Milu. He even guessed that there was someone by Milu's side. Holy **T. Will the destroyer find this place? Qin Yun began to panic. Boom! At this moment, a loud sound was heard, and the entire ground shook violently. Not good. Someone is attacking the array? Could it be the divine sun hunters? Someone shouted in alarm. The leader's face immediately turned ashen as he shouted, "Run! It's the destroyer!" Qin Yun was completely dumbfounded. He was worried that the destroyer would not come, but he did not expect that it would come immediately. Even such a powerful spirit formation was instantly shattered by Chu Feng's attack. Outside, Yang Dingyuan was completely dumbfounded. Outside the barrier, he could clearly feel how terrifying that power was. It was as if it could destroy the heavens and earth. Chapter 30:13. That powerful barrier's defense was extremely terrifying. Even if the elders of the heaven-splitting ancient clan attacked in full force, they might not be able to break through it in an instant. But there was only one destroyer that had arrived, but with his own strength, he broke through the powerful barrier in an instant. Not the moment the barrier was broken, the power that erupted was like a surging wave that surged mightily. But yes, that power was very strange. It was actually just mental energy, but the aura that erupted seemed to shatter the heavens and rend the earth. It's the destroyer. We're dead. The black cat-eared man was scared out of his wits. His cries of terror seemed to come from a hell of despair. Qin Yun, who was floating in the air, was also trembling in fear. Even though he had forced himself to calm down, he still couldn't help but tremble. It had been a long time since Qin Yun had felt such fear. He was frightened by the cat-eared man's cries of despair, but he was shocked by the extremely terrifying power. Although the power of a universe godson was extremely terrifying, it was still a colossus, an energy giant in the universe. And the destroyer that had descended looked only the size of a human, but the power in its body was extremely terrifying. The myriad realm's divine sun was so huge, it was only natural for it to erupt with such powerful power. The destroyer wasn't big, but the powerful power in its body made Qin Yun feel suffocated. Qin Yun had the chance to escape from a 9th-tier divine space realm expert, but in front of the destroyer, he didn't have the slightest chance. He was very sure that he had been completely sensed by the destroyer. The destroyer's powerful mental energy had swept through his body several times. Just the destroyer's terrifying mental energy enveloping him made him feel like a divine sun was about to fall on him and destroy him. Destroy this was the most terrifying thing about the destroyer. When it killed you, it would make you deeply realize how insignificant you were and what it meant to be a speck of dust in the universe. Why was the destroyer so powerful? Could it be that there was a super divine sun in their hearts, and that they could use the power of that super divine sun? Also, did that mean that their hearts had energy bodies? That they could fully unleash the power of energy bodies? His is your entire body made of divine, universe, heavenly bones? No, it absolutely wasn't the divine universe heavenly bone. It was far more formidable. Destroy the power of the destroyer was something Qin Yun could not comprehend at all. It was not the divine cosmos power at all. Of the destroyer's powers, only the psyche powers were familiar to Qin Yun. Everything else was unimaginable to Qin Yun. The destroyer had come, and he was alone. With just one move, he had broken through this powerful barrier. Qin Yun did not understand why Malheur would be targeted by the destroyer. Was it necessary for a little girl to be chased across the universe by the destroyer to the divine wilderness? Now, he finally understood why Malheur could escape from the destroyer and come all the way to the divine wilderness. This kind of destroyer was omnipotent. They could enter dark spaces and easily travel through all kinds of powerful spaces. However, they still let Malheur run away. Qin Yun remembered that Malheur said that there was more than one destroyer that came to capture Malheur. The destroyer was already very terrifying. If there were several destroyers, wouldn't they really be able to destroy the world? To be able to send several destroyers to capture Malheur, this could be said to be a very large lineup, but Malheur still managed to escape. At this moment, Qin Yun understood even more about Malheur's fear of the destroyer. He was even more afraid than Malheur. Malheur could escape from the hands of several destroyers, but he, Qin Yun, had no chance to escape at all, not even the slightest chance. As long as the destroyer was willing, a single thought could shatter Qin Yun's body and soul. Destroy the destroyer did not need to make a move at all. Even from a very far place, he could completely destroy Qin Yun with just his psyche power. Qin Yun held the divine mirror of grand beginning in his hand. He frantically shouted for Tai Shi in fear, but Tai Shi was as silent as a dead man. Even Tai Shi was playing dead at this moment. Calm down, I have to calm down. Qin Yun took a deep breath. He began to admire the group of cat-eared people. At this moment, they could actually scream in fear and still run. Qin Yun could not move at all. Every cell in his body was in fear. He was so scared that he did not have any desire to live. Night at night, the moonlight of the heaven's divine moon was very beautiful and very cold. Qin Yun floated in the air, sweating profusely. The destroyer's powerful psyche power enveloped an area of 10,000 miles around the mine, like the vault of heaven. Fong, the land within 10,000 miles, was sinking slightly. It was all sinking after being covered by the destroyer's psyche power. This was caused by the aura produced by the destroyer's psyche power. Just this aura alone was so terrifying. Will the destroyer discover Malheur? What should I do? Previously, Yin had always said that he would protect Malheur. Moreover, he believed that in the god-desolate land, even if he faced a powerful enemy, he would be able to escape unscathed. That was why he boasted that he could completely protect Malheur. However, at this moment, he knew how strong the destroyer was. There was always someone stronger. Great the ground quietened down. The group of cat-eared people did not run away at this moment. Instead, they stood in place. Height was as if they were locked in place by something. They could not move at all. They shouted with all their might as the divine universe power in their bodies erupted, trying to break free from the power that bound them. Destroyer, why do you want to kill us? What did we do wrong? The leader from before mustered up his courage and shouted with a voice filled with fear. Destroy the destroyer appeared. He looked like a humanoid creature made of mercury. He had facial features, but it was only an outline. This was the destroyer. His body was wrapped in a layer of mercury. This seemed to be his armor. The destroyer was very tall. He was more than 2 meters tall. In an instant, he arrived in front of the leader. First, this is the world of low-level living beings. You shouldn't have come. Second, it doesn't matter if you came. You killed a large number of loyal divine sun hunters. Third, you still want to steal resources that belong to low-level living beings. The destroyer spoke. His voice was cold and emotionless, but it was slightly magnetic. His voice was pleasant to the ears, but it was also very frightening. The divine sun hunters are loyal. In the Central Plains, they will definitely break through their restrictions. That leader shouted in fear. Currently, no one in the divine sun hunter race dares to break through. Although this world is Middle-earth, its main source of energy is the Outerverse. As long as it is not Middle-earth, which has grown up by absorbing this universe, it is still considered low-earth. If there are living beings in this low-earth who cross the boundary, then we will kill them without mercy. After the destroyer finished speaking, 2 rays of light shot out from his eye sockets and entered the leader's body. Only in an instant, the leader's body turned into silver light and dissipated. This group of cat-eared people were all at the 6th or 7th tier of the divine universe realm. However, they were all destroyed by the rays of light shot out from the destroyer's eyes. Chapter 30:14. Qin Yun was dumbfounded as he watched from the sky. Those at the 6th or 7th level of the divine space realm had been killed with their eyes. It was as easy as blowing off dust. The destroyer could kill those at the 6th or 7th level of the divine space realm with just his eyes. Qin Yun was still very afraid because the destroyer was below and Malheur was in his 9-yang divine spirit. Same. At this time, he also wondered which faction these destroyers belonged to and whose orders did they listen to. What kind of existence was it to be able to command this group of destroyers? The faction behind the destroyer was really protecting the environment of the different levels of living beings forbidding the higher levels of living beings from interfering with the lower levels of living beings. However, it was only in this way that the highest level of living beings could be maintained in a very small number. If the higher level of living beings wanted to maintain their eternal state, they would need to consume a lot of energy. The energy of a universe was limited. If there were more and more high-level living beings, it would definitely not be enough. The universe might even collapse. This was something they could not allow. Only in this way could the few high-level living beings maintain their eternal state. Therefore, they had also set up very strict rules to prohibit living beings from crossing their own level. Once they appeared, they would be killed without mercy. Very soon, the dozens of 6th or 7th level divine space realm cat-eared people were all killed by the destroyer. After the destroyer was done, he looked up at Qin Yun in the sky. He glanced at Qin Yun and then left, disappearing on the spot. He left. Qin Yun was stunned as he looked at the dozens of huge transport vehicles below. The destroyer did not even glance at the carts of divine universe goldstones. The destroyer's strength was so terrifying that these divine universe goldstones might not even be enough to fill the gaps between the destroyer's teeth. There are at least hundreds of billions of them, and they are all mine? Qin Yun took a deep breath. The destroyer did not discover that Malheur was in his 9-yang divine spirit, and the destroyer did not attack him. This I got rich lying down? Qin Yun still found it hard to believe. He floated in the air. Apart from breaking out in a cold sweat and almost peeing his pants, he had obtained this batch of divine universe goldstones without any effort. Of course, he had been scared to death, so he had suffered some losses. Qin Yun was stunned for a while. After confirming that the destroyer would not return, he stored all the divine universe goldstones into the 9-yang divine spirit. He did not open the divine universe violet sun pearl where Malheur was. Instead, he placed it in another pearl to avoid being detected by the destroyer. That's too easy. Qin Yun frantically waved the divine mirror of Taishu and shouted for his brother Taishu. Thane, on the other hand, old brother Taishu was like a dead dog, not reacting at all. Even brother Taishu was frightened. The destroyers are too terrifying, and there are many of them in the God-desolate heavens. We have to be careful in the future. When Yin thought of the destroyer's terrifying power, he still felt a lingering fear. At the same time, it made his heart surge. In the future, he might be able to grasp that kind of great power. He had Taishu, his heart had an energy body, and the 9-yang divine spirit had cultivated 9 super divine sons. Thane, he was also extremely worried. This was because once he touched the peak of the divine space realm, there would probably be destroyers targeting him. But after breaking through, he would definitely be targeted by the destroyer. Is the destroyer only in this universe? I wonder if there are any in the outer verse. Can the destroyer go to the ancient desolate? Yun's imagination ran wild. Suddenly, he thought of the ancient desolation. The 9-yang Dharma spirit had said that the ancient desolation was a testing ground. It tested whether the living beings there could surpass the level taboo and whether or not there would be destroyers after they did so. Qin Yun took out the divine king heavenly seal and shouted, 9-yang lost spirit, 9-yang lost spirit. Quickly respond to me. I've met the destroyer. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. You bastard. Hurry up and answer me. If I die, who will help you deal with those divine sun descendants? He shouted for a long time, but the 9-yang lost spirit did not respond to him at all. All right, I've gained a lot from this trip. Qin Yun immediately flew towards Yang Dingyuan's side. Yang Dingyuan was just outside, and he was still in a daze. Only when Qin Yun slapped the back of his head did he come back to his senses. Qin Yun frowned. He smelled the stench of urine. Yang Dingyuan was actually scared to the point of peeing. He didn't laugh at Yang Dingyuan because even he himself had almost pissed his pants just now. The destroyer was too terrifying. Boss, what just happened? Yang Dingyuan looked at Qin Yun in fear. Of course, he did not know about the destroyer, nor did he know about the cat-eared man. He only felt that it was Qin Yun's doing. If there was really a powerful enemy, how could Qin Yun come out unscathed? Nothing happened. I have obtained the divine universe golden stone. Think of a way to inform the ancient Yang family that this mine was betrayed by the great divine lord, and everyone in the mine was killed. They were killed by a type of cat-eared people. Qin Yin said, the group of cat-eared people are dead, but the mastermind is not dead. Yin finally understood why the king of the cat-eared people hadn't come to retrieve the divine universe metal stone, but had instead sent a bunch of underlings to retrieve it. It was because he was afraid of encountering the destroyer. Namely, even if that king encountered the destroyer, he would probably die in 2 or 3 blows. That's right. This matter must be reported to the elders of the Yang ancient clan in secret. Qin Yin warned again. Yang Dingyuan frantically nodded. Whatever Qin Yin says now, he will treat it as a decree. Because in his opinion, that terrifying power just now was unleashed by Qin Yin. Just how powerful was the divine king of the divine desolate land? At this moment, Yang Dingyuan looked at Qin Yin as if he was looking at a divine king. In his eyes, a true divine king should possess that kind of terrifying power just now, not a tramp like the great divine lord. Boss is awesome, Yang Dingyuan shouted in his heart. Qin Yin hurriedly returned to the Imperial Heaven sect. He only wanted to sleep for 7 days and 7 nights and crazily entangle himself with Ling Yin. He wanted to completely forget the power of the destroyer. But he couldn't do it now because he still had to join the Imperial Heaven Squad and go to the ancient Garden City to fight. At this point, he no longer dared to question the 9 Yang Law Spirit. 9, although the Yang Law Spirit didn't care about the living beings of the divine desolate land, there was definitely a way to allow the living beings of the divine desolate land to surpass their level. If he wanted to become stronger and possess the power of the destroyer, it was necessary to surpass his level. The divine desolate land had a large amount of resources, so it wasn't difficult to cross levels. The difficult part was how to not be killed by the destroyer after breaking through. Qin Yin still let Ling Yin come out and properly consume some energy with this charming fairy, temporarily suppressing that fear. Spirit Yin could feel that Qin Yin was somewhat different, but she didn't ask much. She only giggled and said some nonsense to Qin Yin. After she was done with Qin Yin, she returned to the 9 Yang divine spirit. At this time, Brother Taishur, who was pretending to be dead, finally came back to life. You scared me to death. After Taishur came back to life, this sentence entered Qin Yin's mind. Chapter 30:15. Qin Yin couldn't sense Taishur's existence earlier and thought that he was scared to death. Now that he heard Taishur's voice in his mind, he immediately felt a lot more at ease. Old Brother Taishur, you scared me to death. I was really worried that you were finished. Qin Yin said with a smile. It's good that you're fine. It's good that you're fine. It was a false alarm, Taishur said. Qin Yin, the destroyer is too terrifying. I was worried that I would be sensed, so I went into seclusion. Didn't the 9 Yang Law Spirit say that there's a high chance that someone is monitoring the connection between you and him? Could it be that the destroyer is monitoring me? The 9 Yang Law Spirit doesn't want them to discover me? Qin Yin is alarmed. It should be. Maybe when you communicate with the 9 Yang Law Spirit, the destroyer will hear it. You are too important to the 9 Yang Law Spirit, really very important, so the 9 Yang Law Spirit should be protecting you. Taishur said, Old Brother Taishur, you're only sure now. Why do you suddenly know that the 9 Yang Law Spirit is protecting me? Also, if you know about the destroyer, why didn't you tell me earlier? Qin Yin also has many questions in his heart. Taishur seems to be very afraid of the destroyer, so the moment the destroyer appeared, he decisively went into seclusion. This is also an instinctive reaction to protect himself. It was because I met the destroyer that I understood many things. I know about the destroyer, but in my memories, that kind of existence is not called the destroyer. They have another name, Slaughterer. I never expected that they would change their name to Destroyer. Taishur said, Slaughterer? It sounds full of killing intent, and it is mainly targeted at living beings. And the destroyer is not only targeted at living beings, it can be said to target everything. The name destroyer is not less domineering, but it lacks that much killing intent. Qin Yin said, Yes, that's why I didn't connect the two, but I have some suspicions. Furthermore, in my impression, Slaughterer's strength is not very terrifying, and the destroyer that appeared before is much stronger than Slaughterer. I can be sure that Slaughterer was the destroyer back then, and now he has become even stronger. Taisher said, although this Taisher was created by Qin Yun, he can recover the memories of the primordial Taisher. Back then, just who had sealed the primordial Grand Prime and the miniature universe within the Bloodline Heavenly Pattern box. And why was it still floating in the universe after being sealed? Qin Yun suspected that the Bloodline Heavenly Pattern box was sealed by the faction behind the Destroyer. The Bloodline Heavenly Pattern box could bestow powerful Bloodline Heavenly Patterns to living beings, allowing them to evolve and surpass the limits of their cultivation. It could be said that the Bloodline Heavenly Pattern boxes had spent many years creating life forms that could transcend realms. The elders of the heaven-splitting ancient clan should be able to break through to the 9th tier of the divine space realm. This was the power bestowed by the heavenly patterns of their bloodline. Now, the 9-Yang Dharma Spirit was using the primordial Grand Prime Bloodline Heavenly Pattern box to create a new group of powerful clans. If the 9-Yang Dharma psionic energy was continuously optimized and released the bloodline power of the Bloodline Heavenly Pattern box, coupled with the powerful Myriad Realms Divine Sun, the powerful clans that would be born in the Divine Wilderness in the future might even surpass the 9th level of the Divine Space Realm. Of course, the Destroyer would definitely appear then, as long as they could resist the Destroyer and buy more time for the 9-Yang Lost Spirit. Then the Divine Wasteland would be able to continuously give birth to a large number of powerful races, and they would be able to fight against that group of beings of that level. That was the case in an ideal world, but it was definitely not the case in reality. The Destroyer would definitely descend upon the Divine Wilderness and start a massacre. How could they stop the Destroyer? Ancient desolation. Qin Yun suddenly took a deep breath. The 9-Yang Lost Spirit had tried it before. The ancient desolation was a testing ground. The 9-Yang Lost Spirit might be able to nurture powerful humans that transcend realms in the ancient desolation. The ancient desolation was very special. It was located in a spatial crack. This crack happened to be between two powerful universes, so it could not be sensed by other universes. However, the energy of the Myriad Realms Divine Sun and the Divine Moon of the heavens could descend upon the ancient desolation. If a large number of powerful races that transcend realms appeared in the ancient desolation, and there was a passage that could descend upon the Divine Wilderness, they would be able to resist the Destroyer, giving the Divine Wilderness space and time to grow. The more Qin Yun thought about it, the more he felt shaken to his core. If the 9-Yang Lost Spirit really wanted to fight against a powerful faction, it might be the most powerful existence in the universe. Qin Yun, don't forget that you are very important to the 9-Yang Lost Spirit. The descendants of the Divine Sun and the Myriad Realms Divine Sun are a great hidden danger. Other than the 4 Divine Suns, it is extremely likely that the descendants of the Divine Sun will invade the other Myriad Realms Divine Suns. Qin Yun nodded and said, I understand. Only after the 9 Myriad Realms Divine Suns appear will the 9-Yang Lost Spirit make a bigger move. I'm afraid that when the time comes, the heavens-splitting ancient race will yield, or the descendants of the Divine Sun and the Divine Sun will explode. Taisher continued, there's another possibility. If it really reaches that stage, the Divine Wilderness will be able to give birth to beings that transcend realms. If they want to suppress the Divine Wilderness, they don't need too many destroyers. As long as they allow other middle-level life forms that have lost their homes to enter the Divine Wilderness, they can cause great destruction to the Divine Wilderness. Qin Yun's heart suddenly trembled. Could it be that the cat-eared person's actions in the Divine Wilderness were a probe? If the Destroyer appeared and killed the middle-level life forms that were active in the Divine Wilderness, it meant that the time was not right. The Divine Wilderness was still a piece of meat that could not be eaten. The Divine Wilderness is a piece of meat. Qin Yun took a deep breath and couldn't help but feel his hair stand on end. In the universe outside the Divine Wilderness, who knows how many powerful middle-level life forms are eyeing it covetously? They haven't appeared because they are afraid of the destroyer. There might be quite a few who have come, but they don't dare to be high profile, or they were secretly eliminated by the destroyer. Tysher said, in the eyes of middle-level life forms, the divine wilderness is like an ant nest filled with treasures. You, the living beings of the divine wilderness, are ants. The divine wilderness was truly filled with danger. The Nine-Yang Law Spirit must be very clear that opening up multiple outerverse was not only to obtain energy from the outerverse, but also to obtain help from other powerful outer space life forms to suppress the destroyer and other middle-level life forms. Qin Yun was in the Imperial Heaven sect, in his residence, hiding in a secret room. He was still unable to calm down and cultivate. The greatest threat to the divine wilderness was not only the Nine-Sun Holy Land. If the divine wilderness did not rise up and did not break through, there would not be such a great crisis. But was this possible? There was no power that could stop the Nine-Yang Law Spirit's will. The Nine-Yang Law Spirit had long since decided to break through layer upon layer of restrictions and create an unprecedented civilization. Qin Yin finally understood why the Nine-Yang Law Spirit said that he did not care much about the living beings of the divine wilderness. Because once that time came, the living beings of the divine wilderness would be like weeds and would be harvested by powerful life forms from all sides. The Nine-Yang Law Spirit would resist the suppression, and the living beings of the divine wilderness that surpassed their level would also be harvested by the destroyer. Chapter 30:16. Qin Yun's mind was in a mess. If he had not encountered the destroyer, he might not have felt such fear. In a sense, the Nine-Yang Dharma Spirit wanted to rebel. If the rebellion failed, or during the rebellion process, they would have to pay a huge price. The Nine-Yang Dharma Spirit was not afraid because it was a spirit body without flesh and blood. In the Nine-Yang Dharma Spirit's consciousness, there was no such thing as death or fear. There were only thoughts of resistance, rebellion, becoming stronger and breaking through. The Nine-Yang Dharma Spirit is leading us to rebel. Won't Yuan and the other Nine-Yang Divine Maidens become the destroyer's primary targets? Will the ancient desolate experiment succeed? When will the destroyer come? When will the divine desolate change? Although Qin Yun was a god king, he could not see the current situation clearly because he was in the chess game. He was only a chess piece. The reason why he could sense the entire situation was mainly because there was an outsider like Tysher who could help him analyze the situation. Become stronger. The seventh divine sun has already appeared. Now we are only missing the 8th and 9th divine sun day. The day of the change should be the day of the 9th divine sun's birth. We can only see the tip of the iceberg in the overall situation. There is much more that we have no way of knowing. Tysher said, before that, we should become as strong as we can. Qin Yun quickly thought and took out the magic mirror. He quickly contacted the Ling family and told them to prepare to retreat from the divine desolate. Following that, he contacted many friends. As long as their foundations were still above the divine desolate, he reminded them to escape to the divine moon and 4 divine suns. The 7th divine sun would appear soon, and the 8th divine sun should not be far away. The Nine-Yang Dharma Spirit was playing a game with the universe and might even obtain the support of the outerverse. Therefore, the formation of the myriad realms' divine suns was very likely to be very fast. Whether it was the divine moon or the myriad realms' divine sun, they were all extremely powerful celestial bodies. The power they erupted with was extremely powerful, far from what ordinary living beings could match. There is still a chance of survival if one hid in such a powerful celestial body. The Nine-Yang Dharma Spirit constantly created strong races, but it definitely would not tell them that a crisis would befall them. When the time came, the strong races would instinctively resist. This meant that a large number of the strong races created by the Nine-Yang Dharma Spirit would die. However, the Nine-Yang Law Spirit didn't care at all, because after a strong race perished, it could create another one. As for the heaven-splitting ancient clan, Qin Yun did not inform them, because the heaven-splitting ancient clan definitely knew more. After all, the heaven-splitting ancient clan was a very important chess piece in the overall situation. The Nine-Yang Dharma spirit would definitely frequently communicate with the heaven-splitting ancient clan's upper echelons. Bang, bang, bang. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door, and the sound was not soft. Qin Yun frowned. It was obvious that there was something urgent. In the secret chamber, Qin Yun released the heavenly eye avatar and saw Xiao Yuelon enter the hall of his small building. Xiao Yuelon has a high ponytail and is wearing a tight black outfit, outlining her slender and elastic legs. Her incomparably beautiful face seems to have become even more beautiful, but it is filled with seriousness and coldness. Her eyes are filled with killing intent. Qin Yun, who was in the secret chamber, saw Xiao Yuelon through the heavenly eye avatar. He was completely stunned. He even suspected if this was his wife. Xiao Yuelon has become even more beautiful and alluring than before. Furthermore, her body has also changed quite a bit. First of all, she is much taller, her legs have become longer, and her body has become even more curvaceous. In short, her body has become extremely fiery hot. Qin Yun immediately came out of the secret chamber. Little husband. After Xiao Yuelon saw Qin Yun, her incomparably beautiful ice-cold face suddenly softened. Her eyes, which were originally filled with killing intent, are now as gentle as water. She immediately threw herself into Qin Yun's embrace and kissed him. She pushed Qin Yun and kissed him for a long time. Qin Yun did not even have time to react before he was passionately kissed by his wife. His hands also felt the beautiful change in his wife's body. What's going on? After the kiss, Qin Yun impatiently asked, because something is very wrong with Xiao Yuelon. Not only has she changed so much, she didn't even need the magic mirror to contact him. She directly came here to find him. Xiao Yuelon said with a solemn expression, "The Nine-Yang Law Spirit told me to tell you to prepare for the worst. What about the ancient garden city? Aren't we going to assemble a battle team or something?" Qin Yun hurriedly asked. "The battle team is very important. Don't use the magic mirror again. It's being monitored. Think of a way to secretly inform Brotherin. Let him close the magic mirror's formation base and withdraw his strange space ancient city into the 4 divine suns." Xiao Yuelon said again. "What?" Qin Yun immediately took out the magic mirror and said, "Who's monitoring?" "I don't know. This is what the Nine-Yang Law Spirit told me to tell you." Xiao Yuelon took out the magic mirror and said again, "The Nine-Yang Law Spirit told me that there's a special kind of creature that can collect all the content transmitted through the magic mirror, then analyze it and filter out the content they need." Qin Yun said with a frown, "Don't tell me I can't even use the magic mirror one last time to inform Brotherin. You can, but once they find out, Brotherin and the others might be in trouble because their spatial origin stones have been parasitized." Xiao Yuelon said. Qin Yun fiercely sucked in a mouthful of cold air. "This is a big matter. Who did it? The destroyer?" It is not difficult for Qin Yun to immediately inform In Wukong. He and In Wukong have a special way of contacting each other. It is to use an encrypted method to communicate. For example, he can send a large paragraph of text to In Wukong. This paragraph of text might be a description of some story or something. After In Wukong saw the story Qin Yun sent him, he extracted the text from the story according to the password he agreed on with Qin Yun, thus forming the secret report sent by Qin Yun. If someone was monitoring, they would only get a large piece of the story. This way it would not be noticed. This kind of secret report was agreed on by Qin Yun and In Wukong. Soon after, Qin Yun urgently sent the secret report to In Wukong. Half an hour later, all the magic mirrors were cut off, and all the alien race, people smoothly entered the 4 divine suns. The great change of divine desolate came faster than Qin Yun expected. He originally thought that it would only come when the 9th divine sun appeared. And now, it is actually coming. "Yuelon, what is your current cultivation?" Qin Yun asked. 6th level divine universe realm. I refined many divine universe heavenly bones, so my body has changed a lot. The battle team is very important. Wait until you go to the ancient garden. You will know. I want to return to the Xiao heavenly sect now. Where is Yueme? Qin Yun hastily asked. She is in the Xiao heavenly sect. She is bitterly cultivating the battle god technique. Xiao Yuelan's clear and beautiful eyes are filled with deep worry. She said to Qin Yun, Xiao Yun, no matter what happens, I will be able to get through it. Of course, it has been like this for so many years. Qin Yun smiled and caressed Xiao Yuelan's face. You go back to the Xiao heavenly sect. We will meet in the ancient garden city. Xiao Yuelan left. Qin Yun immediately entered the secret room. He wants to cultivate the divine universe heavenly bone in his arm as soon as possible. Chapter 3017. Qin Yun didn't tell Xiao Yuelan about the destroyer. Xiao Yuelan also doesn't know about Malur's matter. There are a total of 180 billion divine universe golden stones in that mine. Qin Yun let Malur and Ling Yun count and was pleasantly surprised. This is a lot more than his previous estimate. Previously, he estimated it to be more than 100 billion, but now it is close to 200 billion. Great, great. It's enough for me to refine my entire arm into divine, universe, heavenly bone. Qin Yun is very excited. Time is tight. There are only 2 days left before they have to go to the ancient garden. After the magic mirror's formation base was closed, the entire divine desolate suddenly became blocked. After all, everyone is used to using the magic mirror to communicate with each other and obtain all kinds of information from the magic mirror. Now that it is suddenly gone, the entire divine desolate can be said to be in chaos. Qin Yun released the heavenly eye avatar from inside the house and saw many people jumping onto the roof and raising the magic mirror in their hands high. What's going on? Is the signal bad? Fuck, I was chatting with Xiao Mei, and she was just about to take off her clothes. Bastard. I was using the magic mirror to ask people to help me buy things. So sad. Today there are a few big sisters who want to show off. I took off my pants. I can't see it. I can't see it. When can it be used again? I want to hear the voice of a big sister. I want to date a big sister. Damn it, I almost hit on her. A large group of people are cursing. They only feel that the end of the world is coming. Life has reached the darkest moment. And Wukong is very obedient to Qin Yun. Qin Yun told him to close it. He immediately closed it, and then the entire clan withdrew into the Four Divine Sunday. Xiao Yuelan came to find Qin Yun this time. From her expression, it could be seen that the matter has reached a very serious stage. Although she did not say the specific situation, Qin Yun can feel it. The magic mirror is operated by Wukong's alien void race. Now that it is being targeted by a powerful force, if they do not abandon it decisively, then the alien void race might be attacked, and in the end, they will either be exterminated or controlled. Qin Yun closed his eyes and sensed the surrounding space. He released the power of Nether Sun in an attempt to distort the space, but found that the space has become a lot stronger than before. What shocked him the most is that the divine desolate space is still constantly strengthening. This kind of strengthening speed can be clearly felt. What's going on? After the 7th divine sun came out, the space had strengthened once. Why was it still strengthening now? Could it be that the 8th divine sun is about to appear? Qin Yun was alarmed and immediately asked the Grand Prime. Taisher asked Qin Yun to take out the divine King Heavenly Seal. The godly King Heavenly Seal was Grand Prime's true body. Releasing the godly King Heavenly Seal allowed him to sense it more clearly. The space is indeed getting stronger. It's too strange. Moreover, it's getting stronger very quickly. Clearly, a lot of energy is gathering in the divine desolate heavens to strengthen the space. Taisher didn't know what was going on. Without the magic mirror, I can't contact anyone. It's really troublesome. Qin Yun wants to contact Xian Shazi, Law Enforcement Realm King, and Tian Rue. Fortunately, he had informed them beforehand and told them to be prepared. Back then, Qin Yun did not say anything to them. He only told them that something major was about to happen. Qin Yun, you currently have about 250 billion divine universe goldstones on hand, said Taisher. This should be enough to temper an arm into a divine, universe, heavenly bone, right? Qin Yun immediately began. It's enough, but I suggest you think of a way to borrow another 200 billion. Because no one knows what will happen next. You have to obtain a large amount of divine universe goldstones during this period of peace, and temper the divine universe heavenly bone in your arms. Taisher said. Qin understood what Taisher meant. During this period of time, if he borrowed it and something happened, it would take a long time for him to repay it. Qin doesn't want to do this. Those who are willing to lend him so many divine universe goldstones are all very good friends. Qin can do anything to his enemies, but he can't do the same to his friends. Although it's only borrowing, if a great change happens, the divine universe goldstones will be extremely important. I'll go to the ancient garden first. The elders of the heaven-opening ancient clan should know that something big is about to happen. If they're willing to lend it to me at that time, it means that it won't hurt them at all. Qin said. Yes, then let's start refining the divine universe heavenly bone now. Taisher said. Qin immediately began transferring the divine universe goldstones into the godly king heavenly seal. In 2 days, the Imperial Sky Battle Team will gather. Qin wants to use 200 billion divine universe goldstones to temper the divine universe heavenly bone in his arm in 2 days. 100 billion divine universe goldstones is to awaken the divine universe heavenly bone, and the other 100 billion is to temper it. Qin originally planned to keep the divine universe goldstones to deal with the changes in the heavens, because he can't let Malheur come out for a long time. There are many destroyers in the divine desolate. If Malheur comes out for a long time, it will be very dangerous. 2 days passed, and Qin's entire right arm has cultivated the divine universe heavenly bone. He is very envious of Xiao Yuelon and the other 9 sun divine daughters. With the help of the 9 sun law spirit in their cultivation, they don't need to worry at all. But Qin is different. In order to quickly refine the divine universe heavenly bone, he has to endure a great deal of pain. Qin came out of the secret room. It is now morning. He left his residence and hurried to the Imperial Origin Sect Master's place. On the way, he saw many people holding the magic mirror with pained expressions. 2 days passed, and everyone is still looking forward to using the magic mirror again. Qin arrived at Imperial Origin Sect Master's residence, but did not see him. However, there's an old man here. He is Imperial Origin Sect Master's old follower. He said that Imperial Origin Sect Master is in the teleportation hall. Qin immediately rushed to the teleportation hall. When he arrived, he saw that Imperial Origin Sect Master's expression is very grave. Sect Master, what's wrong? Qin hastily asked. The teleportation hall is very empty. There is no one here. The teleportation formation here can't be used. Imperial Origin Sect Master let out a long sigh and said, a great upheaval is coming. Why is this happening? 2 days ago, Qin discovered that the space is becoming stronger and stronger. I still don't know. If we want to go to the ancient Era's Garden City, we can only fly to the 7th Divine Sunday. The ancient Era's Garden City is inside the 7th Divine Sun. Imperial Origin Sect Master said, take our flying ship there. Imperial Origin Sect Master is waiting for Qin here. He saw that Qin's condition is very good and relaxed a lot. Qin followed behind Imperial Origin Sect. The two of them did not speak much along the way. A huge flying ship is floating above a large plaza of the Imperial Heaven Sect. Shao Qin, the battle of the ancient Era's Garden City, is very important. Imperial Origin Sect Master looked at the flying ship and patted Qin's shoulder. I will wait for your triumphant return. I will definitely do my best to win. Qin smiled and nodded. Imperial Origin Sect Master also smiled and nodded at Qin to show his encouragement. Chapter 3018. Complete version. Update the latest chapter of the 9 Suns Divine King as soon as possible. Qin can feel that the atmosphere is not right. After he boarded the ship, he turned around and looked at the Imperial Heaven Gate. The ship is waiting for people to board. This time, there are more than 100 people going to the ancient Garden City. They are all elders and youngsters of the ancient clan and the Imperial Heaven Gate. Qin entered the cabin and looked out the window. This is the first time he seriously looked at the Imperial Heaven Gate. The entire Imperial Heaven Gate's architectural style is very simple. It is made of stone, but it looks very imposing. Especially after being arranged, the buildings are very neatly arranged into a very visually impactful formation. The ship slowly flew up, and Yu Yuan waved goodbye to Qin Yan. At this time, a fragrant wind blew over, and someone patted Qin Yan's shoulder. "Boss Qin," Yu Yaoyao said with a light smile. This red-haired, pink-eyed seductress wore tight-fitting white clothes. Although she was dressed for battle, it made her even more alluring. It outlined the beautiful contours of her body, and it didn't diminish her charm in the slightest. "Yao Yao, long time no see. You have become much more beautiful," Qin Yun said with a smile. Yu Yaoyao crossed her arms in front of her chest to make herself look even more majestic and arrogant. She said with a smile, "Boss Qin, long time no see. You are becoming more and more eloquent. Speaking of which, you are still very handsome. The more I look at you, the more I like you." "I have always been this handsome," Qin Yun said with a laugh. "You were just blind before and didn't realize it." "Qin Yun, be serious. What do you think about this battle in the ancient garden city?" Yu Yaoyao asked with a stern expression. Clearly, Yu Yaoyao also knows that there will be a great upheaval. "I don't know. The sect master told me that this battle is very important. Qin Yun can guess that this is a battle with outerverse beings. It is very likely to be a gambling match. I am at the 4th level of the Divine Space Realm, and I am in the 2nd team of the Imperial Heaven Battle Team. The Sect Master said that you are at the 3rd level of the Divine Space Realm, but your Divine Space power exceeds the limit. So, it is not a problem for you to join the 2nd team." Yu Yaoyao said, "What about the other teammates?" Qin Yun looked behind him and asked. "Their strength should be okay. Anyone is fine. They're all warriors of the ancient Yu clan who have returned from the Outerverse. It can be said that in the 2nd team, the 2 of us are probably the weakest." Yu Yaoyao combed her red hair and sighed. "I should be the weakest one. This battle is very important. They shouldn't have sent us 2 weak chickens to fight," Qin Yun said with a frown. "To tell you the truth, the Imperial Heaven Sect can only gather the 5 of us at the 4th tier of the Divine Space Realm. There are only 3 4th-tier Divine Space Realm cultivators who have returned from the Outerverse, and they are all middle-aged men. They are our teammates," Imperial Yaoyao said. "What? All middle-aged men? Where are the youngsters?" Qin Yun was alarmed. Getting injured or dying is still a serious injury. Yu Yaoyao lowered his voice and looked around before saying, "They were not injured in the Nine Suns Sacred Ground, so I suspect that they fought with something somewhere else." So many of the Yu clan warriors who had returned from the Outerverse had either been heavily injured or killed. Qin Yun is somewhat worried for Xiao Yuelan, Xiao Yuenmei, and Yu Shangyun. They are also representing their sections. He let out a long sigh and said, "Seems like it will be a bitter battle. Qin Yun, you should be more well-informed than me. Can you tell me what we are going to face in that ancient garden city?" Yu Yaoyao said very seriously. "I have to be mentally prepared. Those old fellows won't say anything. People from the Outerverse, but not like the Nine Suns Sacred Ground. This is only my guess," Qin Yun said in low voice. "Yaoyao, don't worry. In the ancient garden city, we should be a lot safer." Yu Yaoyao said, "The clans sent me to fight. It should be because they recognize my strength. To be honest, I have never fought with my life on the line. It seems like this time I'll have a fight with my life on the line." Qin Yun said with a smile, "I have a lot of experience in fighting with my life on the line. It is a common thing for me." Yu Yaoyao only faintly smiled. Her smile is somewhat forced. It is clear that she is afraid. "Are you really afraid?" Qin Yun said with a smile. "Afraid? I am really afraid. Because I have seen several clan members who were seriously injured. They were all young people. When I saw them, their bodies were not complete, and they were all in great pain." Yu Yaoyao nodded. Qin Yun stopped smiling, then took out 2 talismans and handed them to Yu Yaoyao. After Yu Yaoyao received it, she is secretly astonished. It is actually the Imperial Heavenly Talisman. This kind of Imperial Heavenly Talisman has Qin Yun's unique energy aura. It means that it was made by Qin Yun himself. "Keep it to protect yourself," Qin Yun said. "Many thanks." Yu Yaoyao sighed and said, "You should not have fought. You are an inscription master. Moreover, you have grasped the initial stage of my family's Imperial Heavenly Talisman. That means that this battle is very important. Otherwise, the sect master would not have let me fight. Qin Yun said with a smile. Although I don't like fighting, it doesn't mean that I can't fight. Yu Yaoyao naturally knows that Qin Yun is very good at fighting, and he fights without any regard for his life. The speed of the flying ship is very fast. In just a day, it entered the interior of the seventh divine sun and arrived at the ancient garden city inside. Qin Yun had already been here once before. It was not completely constructed back then. And now that he is here again, he is shocked. Last time, there were many empty areas in the ancient garden city. There were no buildings at all. And now, in those empty areas, there are many huge buildings rising from the ground. The style of these huge buildings are all different. It means that they were built by people from different places. There must be people from other universes living in the ancient garden city. Moreover, there are people from several outerverse. Ancient Yu-Clan ship landed in a very large plaza. There are more than 10 large and small ships in the vicinity. When Qin Yun got off the boat, he saw more than 10 elders of the ancient Yu-Clan walking over with solemn expressions. One of them was a white-haired man dressed in red. He looked very young, but his hair and eyebrows had turned white. He was the only person in the ancient Yu-Clan who could control all the Yu-Clan's heavenly talismans. Xiao Qihong. Qin Yun, follow me. After Xiao Qihong saw Qin Yun, without saying anything, he directly released a white jade-like small building. Xiao Qihong clearly has a very important matter to discuss with Qin Yun. The other elders did not say anything. Instead, they walked towards the other youngsters and asked about their current situation. Qin Yun followed Xiao Qihong into the white jade small building. Xiao Qihong took out several large booklets. They looked like several thick and heavy jade doors, and placed them on ground. The imperial heavenly talismans are all here. Take them. Xiao Qihong placed his hand on Qin Yun's shoulder and said solemnly, If I die, you will be responsible for inheriting the imperial heavenly talismans. Master, what happened? Qin Yun's expression changed. He hastily asked. Even a big shot like Xiao Qihong is prepared to face death. Qin Yun began to panic. As long as they can suppress the middle and lower levels, they will always be at the peak. Qin Yun secretly clenched his fists and cursed in a low voice. In that case, those guys are very hateful. Xiao Qihong nodded and said, Our heaven-splitting ancient clan didn't know before, so we helped them do many wrong things. Now we have to correct it, and the Nine-Yang Law Spirit will also help us charge forward. How many outerverse paths lead to this place? How can they help us? Qin Yun asked. There are a total of 3 outerverse that are connected to this place. They can provide us with even more cultivation methods, allowing us to grow faster. The Nine-Yang Law Spirit also allowed them to enter the Nine-Sun Holy Land and obtain Divine Universe Golden Stones. They also need Divine Universe Golden Stones. Xiao Qihong said, The Divine Universe Golden Stones in this Divine Desolate are very abundant even for other universes. Because in all the universes, there have never been multiple super divine suns. As long as the super divine sun can be maintained and not destroyed, the number of divine universe golden stones produced would be even more. The outerverse also want to obtain a large amount of divine universe golden stones from Divine Desolate, but they are not very willing to help the humans of Divine Desolate. Can't those outerverse just directly help us? Why do they still want to fight us? Qin Yun is very unhappy, because they're only helping us to appease the Nine-Yang Law Spirit. If we want their real help, we have to show them our strength. Xiao Qihong said, The main reason why the outerverse came is because of the Divine Universe Golden Stones. They said that they are willing to communicate with the humans of Divine Desolate, but they simply look down on the people of Divine Desolate. Master, is there going to be a huge change in Divine Desolate? Qin Yun only knows, but he doesn't know the specifics. Yes, the people at the top of this universe also want to eat the fat meat that is Divine Desolate. They want to start a blockade on Divine Desolate. In order to suppress the native life forms, they will allow other middle-level people to join in. Xiao Qihong said, What? Other middle-level people will join in? This? Why? Then how can our divine desolate's life forms defeat them? Qin Yin is very angry. If they let the middle-level people join in, then they won't say anything, otherwise they will also rebel against the top. Moreover, when the middle-level people enter Divine Desolate, they will definitely become the dogs of the top and help them obtain Divine Universe Golden Stones. Xiao Qihong's expression is calm, but he's also very angry. Qin Yin tightly clenches fists. Divine Desolate belongs to them, but now is being ravaged by many foreign robbers. The native life forms will definitely be massacred, and he can't do anything about it. Could it be that the Nine-Yang Lost Spirit has no way? Qin Yin said while clenching his teeth. It can be said that Qin Yin watched this land grow up. He has very deep feelings for this land. That's why the Nine-Yang Lost Spirit brought in a few outerverse people and let them join in to balance the middle and upper-level powers of this universe. Those middle and upper-level bastards only know how to destroy, they don't know how to create. And the Nine-Yang Lost Spirit is the creator. He created the great Divine Desolate, and they want to take it for themselves. Xiao Qihong said, they don't know how to create, they only know how to destroy. Qin Yin thought of the group of destroyers. He thought of the descendants of Divine Sun. The descendants of Divine Sun destroyed the Super Divine Sunday. For countless years, it is unknown how many Divine Suns have been destroyed by them. That's why the heaven-opening ancient race has committed a great sin. They became the dogs of the middle and upper-level powers. Of course, if they don't do this kind of thing, there will definitely be others to do it. Divine Desolate space suddenly strengthened. Is it affected by external forces? Qin Yin asked. That's right. It's mainly because those fellows want to restrict the flow of all kinds of information and space travel. This way, they can prevent the Divine Desolate's resources from flowing quickly and make it easier for them to control it. Xiao Qihong nodded. The Nine-Yang Lost Spirit definitely knew about this, so it made preparations in advance. Next, there is no longer the matter of the native life forms of Divine Desolate. It is all the middle and upper level people from the outside who will fight against the outerverse people. Chapter 30:20. The Nine-Yang Dharma Spirit had created the Divine Wasteland, but now it had become a place for other experts to compete for resources. The native creatures of the Divine Wasteland would definitely be affected. If they could survive and grow up, they might be able to surpass the level limit. Qin Yin thought of the destroyer he had encountered before. He did not allow the cat-eared man to snatch the Divine Universe Golden Stones, so he killed the cat-eared man, but did not kill him. At that time, he had a good impression of the destroyer. But now it seemed that the destroyer did not want the middle-level people to steal the Divine Universe Golden Stones. The reason why the destroyer did not kill him or take away the Divine Universe Golden Stones was most likely due to some kind of restriction. Master, is the Nine-Yang Dharma Spirit really going to let them do whatever they want in the Divine Wasteland? Qin Yin was very unwilling to accept this. The Nine-Yang Dharma Spirit said that it would temporarily restrict living beings above the 9th level of the Divine Universe realm from entering the Divine Wasteland. If the higher-ups do not agree, then the Nine-Yang Dharma Spirit will perish together with them. Xiao Qihong said. This made Qin Yin feel a lot more at ease. At least in this way, the gap would not be too big in a short period of time, because the heaven-splitting ancient clan also had experts at the 9th level of the Divine Universe realm. In other words, if one wanted to enter the Divine Wasteland, even if they came from the middle and upper levels, they could not exceed the 9th level of the Divine Universe realm. Qin Yin told Xiao Qihong about the destroyer, but he did not tell him about Malheur. Those destroyers must have surpassed the 9th level of the Divine Universe realm. The Nine-Yang Dharma Spirit told us not to provoke those destroyers, and the destroyer cannot kill living beings in the Divine Wasteland. The destroyer has a very important mission in the Divine Wasteland. Xiao Qihong said, the destroyer's important mission in the Divine Wasteland was to find Malheur. Malheur was so important, so the reason she was targeted by the destroyer was definitely not because she could quickly find the Divine Universe Golden Stones. Then what could it be? Could Malheur increase her mental strength by 10 times? Or was there another reason? Malur's hometown was only a world of middle-level living beings. Malur's strength was not particularly strong, definitely not exceeding the 9th level of the divine universe realm. How could she be targeted by the destroyer? Little Chin, I hope you don't hold back during the battle and use all your strength. According to my contact with those aliens, they worship the strong. Because I have the Yu clan's heavenly talisman, they don't dare to look down on me. As for the other 9th level divine space realm experts, they don't put them in their eyes. Xiao Qihong patted Qin Yun's shoulder. He knew that Qin Yun must be hiding a very strong strength, but because he did not want others to know, he was. I know. Qin Yun nodded. All right, as long as a few of us can win in this competition, they will more or less change their attitude. Xiao Qihong said. Qin Yun and Xiao Qihong came out of the white jade small building. Yu Yao Yao is still outside. After she saw Xiao Qihong, she immediately saluted him. Yu Clan Yang Clan's clan master. Although he clan. The Yu ancient clan did not have a clan ruler now. All the leaders of the heaven-splitting ancient clan were called clan heads. They did not dare to call themselves clan masters because they knew that whether in this cosmos or the outerverse, they were the lowest level living beings. Qin Yun and Yu Yao Yao followed the elders of the Yu ancient clan and entered a very tall restaurant. They came to a hall for a meeting. Team 1 of Yu clan's members were all 6th level divine universe realm experts. They were all old and full of murderous aura. They were veterans of hundreds of battles in the outerverse. In Team 2, only Qin Yun and Emperor Yu Yao were young. The others were all middle-aged. One of them was an old man, the other 2 were middle-aged. Team 1 of Yu clan's members were all 2nd level divine universe realm experts. They were also middle-aged. Although they could not increase their strength quickly, they had rich battle experience. They all trained in the outerverse. Qin Yun finally knew why Emperor Yu Yao was under so much pressure. She was the only young girl here, and her foundation was very weak. Those outsiders promised us that they won't kill us, so everyone can rest assured. They are very arrogant and think that we are not worthy of being killed. Don't be in a hurry to win. What you need to show is your potential. In short, don't let them defeat you easily. An elder in the hall said to the participating team members, "Could it be that we can't win?" An old man from Team 1 asked with some dissatisfaction. Our clan sent a few teams to fight, but no one could defeat them. Total defeat, total defeat. The clan elder sighed. This is the gap between us. You should know that the ones we defeated were trash that they found with great difficulty. What does that mean? Trash that they found with great difficulty? Then they definitely did not have many trash. After they were born, they would be good in all aspects and could quickly grow and surpass the divine universe realm. This was equivalent to a student at the bottom of a top student class suddenly going to a slacker class to dominate. Qin Yun was very puzzled. He believed that an environment that could nurture powerhouses must be better than the divine wilderness. But why did they need the resources of the divine wilderness? That meant that the beings of the divine wilderness had great potential, but it was suppressed. Otherwise, the beings born in the divine wilderness would not be any weaker than those of the outerverse. In what way are they strong? Is it their mortal bodies or their mental strength? Qin Yun asked, do they have many divine, universe, heavenly bones? Or perhaps they have already cultivated a divine space of the soul and have a certain amount of mental strength. Several old men looked at Qin Yun and nodded. They recognized Qin Yun and knew that he was Xiao Qihong's apprentice. That's right. They have at least several large-scale divine universe heavenly bones, and their mental strength is around 50. The elder said. Many people at the scene immediately let out a low cry of terror. Several large divine, universe, heavenly bones, and mental strength of 50. How could they fight this? Divine, universe, heavenly bones, and mental strength were at least at the 7th level of the divine universe realm. So they're very strong, and this battle will let you understand their strength ahead of time. The elder said. Qin Yun had only tempered the divine universe heavenly bone in one arm and only had one large part, but his mental strength was at 100. Luckily, he had listened to Taishur telling him to first cultivate the divine universe. Heavenly bone was the right thing to do. Otherwise, if his mortal body was too weak, it would have been destroyed from the start. If, and I am saying if, you can really defeat them, then they will give you rewards, and we will also reward you. The elder said. It seemed that he didn't expect anyone to win. Chapter 30:21. Hearing that there is a reward, the eyes of the three battle teams immediately lit up. Of course, they also know that it will be very difficult to get the reward. The elders of the clan said that the strength of the outer universe people is very strong. Many parts of their body have been cultivated to the divine universe heavenly bone. In addition, they have cultivated mental power, so it is very difficult to defeat them. Qin Yin has not fought with the outer universe people, nor has he seen them. Now he's not sure whether he can win or not. My divine universe heavenly bone is still too lacking. If I have enough time, I might be able to refine the divine universe heavenly bone in my other arm. Qin Yin touched the divine universe heavenly bone in his arm. This is the key to defeating the outer universe people. The outer universe people from the three outerverse only have 3 battle teams, yet they're challenging our 8 heaven opening clans' 24 battle teams. It can be seen how much they look down on us. The clan elder said again. This caused Qin Yun and the others to be very shocked. Each of the 8 heaven opening clan has 3 battle teams, 1 for each of the 2nd, 4th, and 6th realms of the divine universe realm. The outerverse side has only sent 3 battle teams, which means that each universe has sent 1 battle team. You all came rather late, so our ancient clan is in the 7th position to fight against their 3 battle teams. You can now go to the battle arena to watch. The clan elder said. The ancient Garden City's battle arena was built by the outerverse. It is unknown how they built it, but it is inside a small space. From the outside, the battle arena is inside a large house. But after entering, there's a world inside, a space with bright and beautiful sunlight. There was sunlight in the space, but the divine sun could not be seen, nor could the energy of the divine sun be sensed. When Qin Yun and the others entered the large house, they saw a very large lake and jumped in fright. In the middle of the lake is a flat circular island. That island is the battle arena. If you want to watch, you can just float on the lake outside the island. It's the 2nd team of the Dragon Ancient Clan. They're fighting with the Blue Universe people, an old man said. The Blue Universe people had blue skin, but their hair and eyes were black, and their teeth were white. On that small island, there is actually 1 Blue Universe person fighting against 5 Dragon Ancient Clan people. 1 against 5, and he even has the upper hand. After Qin Yun came in, he saw Xiao Yuelan, Xiao Yueme, and Yushang Yun. They were all watching the battle intently. This Lan Yu person has already won several matches in a row. A middle-aged man said with a grave expression, "It will be our ancient clan's turn soon. When the time comes, our entire battle team will go up." Ancient clan's elder said. That Lan Yu person looked very young. Even though he was tall and big, his face was very tender. He was a youth. "I'm a piece of trash. Only after coming to your universe did I realize what a real piece of trash is." That Lan Yu person laughed loudly. Qin Yin opened his heaven eye and saw that Lan Yu's laughter contained psychic power. After that, Lan Yu didn't even need to fight. Just the combination of sound waves and mental energy was enough to make the 5 warriors of the Dragon Clan cry out in pain. The warriors of the Dragon Clan were all middle-aged men at the 4th level of the Divine Space Realm. When they were fighting just now, they didn't even manage to touch the other party's clothes. The 5 of them were chased around by the Lan Yu people, but they still couldn't catch up. The 2nd team of the ancient Dragon Clan was defeated. There were more than 10 Lan Yu people who were watching from aside. Seeing this result, they didn't have any expression. From their point of view, winning this kind of competition didn't give them any sense of superiority. They only sent out their universe as trash, and they could easily defeat others. Next up was the 2nd team of the Qi Ancient Clan. This time, the opponent was straightforward and efficient. He roared out a burst of psychic power and instantly killed the 5 people of the Qi ancient clan. Then it was the young ancient clan's battle team's turn. They were also instantly killed. The opponent roared, and the young ancient clan people directly fell to the ground and screamed. That guy's psychic power is at least 70. Xiao Qihong said with a frown, "It's your turn next. You must guard your mind well." The people of the Lan Yu people seemed somewhat dissatisfied. A youth at the 9th level of the divine space realm said with a frown, "Heaven opening ancient clan, you are too disappointing. With your level, how can you talk about surpassing realms?" Among the people from the 3 outer verse, the strongest was only at the 9th level of the divine space realm. They didn't send anyone stronger. In their opinion, it wasn't worth sending someone stronger. You were born with the divine universe heavenly bone, but we only cultivate the divine universe heavenly bone in the later stages. An elder of the heaven-opening ancient clan quickly explained, "There's nothing we can do. Our clans are suppressed too much, unlike your side where there is no suppression." That Lan Yu person shook his head. "Even so, you shouldn't be so weak. You are so weak that it makes us doubt our lives. You should know that the people we sent can't even be considered warriors. They're all trash that no one wants." These words made the hearts of many of the heaven-opening ancient clan members hurt. The youth from the Lan Yu people laughed. "To tell you the truth, I was picked up from the streets by them. Looks like as long as I work hard, I will definitely be able to dominate this world in the future." Next up was the Yu ancient clan's battle team's turn. When some of the elders of the heaven-opening ancient clan saw Qin Yun, their eyes lit up. For example, Yu Li Fan, Xiao Hong's grandmother, Taiwei Granny, Qin Liangzheng, and other people who were familiar with Qin Yun. When they entered the island, the Lan Yu people also came to check Qin Yun's and the others' cultivation. They just took a tool and casually shone it on them to confirm their cultivation. "What? There's someone at the 3rd level of the divine space realm? Can't you find him?" That Lan Yu person frowned and looked at the ancient Yu clan's elders with disdain. The other heaven-splitting ancient clansmen present were in an uproar. They were not unfamiliar with Qin Yun. He was the divine king of the divine desolate. Although he was only at the 3rd level of the divine space realm, he was very powerful. The elders of the heaven-opening ancient clan also understood Qin Yun. They all knew that they could not use cultivation to judge Qin Yun's strength. The Outerverse people from 3 different universes heard others talking about Qin Yun and were somewhat surprised. "Little hubby, you can definitely win." Xiao Yuelan's beautiful face is also filled with seriousness. She is at the 6th level of the divine space realm and has yet to fight. The 2nd level of the divine space realm has already ended. The Yu ancient clan did not make it in time, so they were considered to have forfeited. After Qin Yun landed on the island, he observed the Lan Yu person from a close distance. He discovered that the Lan Yu person's legs and arms have divine, universe, heavenly bones. Moreover, it seems like he was born with it. Chapter 3022. As soon as they arrived on the island, facing Lan Yu, Yu Yao Yao, and the other 3 team members felt a lot of pressure. Lan Yu's divine cosmos power is very strong, and he didn't hide it at all, releasing waves of aura. What surprised Qin Yun the most was that these people could quickly recover their divine cosmos power. He didn't know how they did it. Of course, the speed at which they recovered their divine cosmos power was not as fast as when he used the Divine King Heavenly Seal. The Lan Yu person in front of him, as he breathed, recovered his previous loss bit by bit. Fortunately, their recovery speed isn't particularly fast. But how do they do it? Qin Yun is very curious. They have a way to store energy in their bones. If their bones are strong enough, they can compress the energy into their bone marrow. When they need it, they can release it and convert it into divine cosmos power. Taisher said, the other party didn't hide his divine cosmos power at all. So Qin Yun used the divine mirror of primal beginning to detect it in an instant. The Lan Yu youth in front of him had a divine cosmos power of 3,800. It was unknown how many times he could erupt with it. It was normal for a fourth-level divine cosmos realm to have a divine cosmos power of 3,800. However, he was just a youth, and his divine cosmos power was already so high. In Qin Yun's universe, this was extremely terrifying. The Lan Yu youth in front of him didn't consume much divine cosmos power before. Now that he had recovered, he only wanted to recover to his peak state. "Take out your weapons. I allow you to use them," the Lan Yu youth said. The other heaven-opening race teams that fought before also used weapons, but it was of no help at all. Yu Yao Yao and the others had seen it before, but they still took out their weapons. Qin Yun also took out his myriad heaven divine saber. After all, the other party was the one who had taken advantage of him. "You can use weapons. There are 5 of you, but I can still defeat you." The Lan Yu youth laughed and said, "But it's also quite rare. You actually have a young man this time. The ones who fought with me before were either old or middle-aged. Speaking of which, the young people of your universe are really ugly." Qin Yun was somewhat speechless. He was clearly very handsome, and Yu Yao Yao was also very beautiful, but this Yu said that they were very ugly. Just because the other party called him ugly, Qin Yun had to teach him a lesson. This battle is a battle between the 4th and 4th tier of the divine space realm. Not to mention the 4th tier of the divine space realm. Even if the 5th or 6th tier of the divine space realm were to come, I would still be able to defeat the people of your universe. But now you've sent a 3rd tier of the divine space realm. Is there no one else? The youth looked at Qin Yun and laughed. Seeing the young man had arrived, the young man became more talkative. "Brat, don't be arrogant. Wait a moment. I will let you experience Grandpa Qin's power," Qin Yun said with a smile. "Also, I am not a young man. I just look young." "Io, all right, you actually dare to be so arrogant. You are the most arrogant person I have ever met in this universe." Interesting, interesting." The blue universe youth laughed. Yu Yao Yao and the others spread out and found their positions, surrounding the blue universe youth in the middle. The other aliens at the side also felt that it was a little interesting, because provoking each other before the start of a battle was something they all liked to do. However, the people they met were all very calm when the battle started. They didn't say a word and didn't respond to each other's words. Qin Yun is the first person who dared to speak like this. The island's barrier opened and the battle began. The blue universe youth is the same as before. He roared out a burst of sound wave containing mental power. The divine space power within the sound wave is also not weak. In just an instant, Yu Yao Yao and the other 3 team members directly fell to the ground. They have never received training to defend against mental power explosion, so they can't defend at all. After their mind was attacked, it gave them a splitting headache. Qin Yun tightly gripped the saber hilt and steadily stood on the spot. His eyes are calm and sharp as he stared at the blue universe youth. Just now, he was also greatly shocked because when a youth released his mental power, it went from weak to strong. This is equivalent to releasing his mental power. Qin Yun did not fall. It means that he defended against the opponent's mental power attack. This caused all the heaven-opening ancient race people present to cry out in alarm. Not bad. The blue universe youth's pupils shrank. He laughed and said, "You really have some ability. No wonder you speak so arrogantly." At this moment, Qin Yun's eyes flashed. 2 intense golden lights shot out. It is actually mental power. The mental power suddenly shot out and also concentrated together, pouring into the blue universe youth's head. "Ah!" The blue universe youth screamed in pain. All the seniors present were shocked. They could see that Qin Yun released mental power that is not weak. Qin Yun is only at the 3rd level of the divine space realm, yet he has such strong mental power. How did he cultivate it? The instant the blue universe youth was hit, Qin Yun brandished his saber. Lin Ming had a force of 2,800 in his body. Now that he used 2,500 of it to erupt with 4 times that was a force of 10,000 divine space. In addition to the heavenly divine universe bone arm, that was an additional 1,000. This was a force of 111,000 divine space. Then using the myriad heaven divine saber, the power can be imagined. The Blue Universe youth knew that he underestimated his opponent. He still has a splitting headache, feeling a powerful force attack him. He can only use the divine space power in his body to attack his arm, using it to block Qin Yun's saber. The Blue Universe youth thought that his arm is a divine universe heavenly bone and also has a very strong divine space power, so there is no need to fear Qin Yun's saber. But he is wrong. Qin Yun's saber slashed down, cutting off the Blue Universe youth's hand. The large saber finally fell on the Blue Universe youth's shoulder, although it did not cut open the shoulder. But the divine space power that erupted out shook the Blue Universe youth's body to the point of splitting open. Qin Yun's saber heavily injured the Blue Universe youth. After quickly replenishing his divine space power, he erupted with another 10,000 divine space power, kicking the youth's abdomen. Boom! At the same time the youth was kicked away, blue blood sprayed out his mouth. His abdomen exploded from the impact of the super strong divine space power. The youth's body heavily hit the barrier, then fell down, unable to continue fighting. Next, Qin Yun's expression is calm as he lightly said. Everyone present, including the group of outsiders, are all shocked. A third-level divine space realm actually defeated a fourth-level divine space realm outsider, and in 2 moves he killed the opponent. The divine king of the divine desolate is really awesome. Although his current cultivation is still very low, the potential he has displayed is so strong that it makes people despair. Yu Yao Yao and the others can no longer fight. After the barrier closed, they were all carried away. The 4th-level Divine Space Realm team of outsiders still has 4 people. Qin Yun wants to defeat them one by one. As long as he shows his formidable strength, then it will be much easier to borrow the Divine Universe Golden Stone. Very good. This person is very strong. Just now those 2 moves were very strong. He has some skill. The leader of the Blue Universe people is actually very happy. Chapter 3023. A complete copy update the latest chapter of the 9 Sons Divine King as soon as possible. On Lan Yu's side, although their people lost, the higher-ups who were watching the battle weren't angry. After all, the young man from Lan Yu who fought on their side was a piece of trash that they had recruited from the roadside. In their opinion, it was a very normal thing for such trash to lose. However, when they saw Qin Yun win, they were rather surprised. They never thought that there would be such an outstanding person in this universe. Of course, in their eyes, Qin Yun was still quite lacking compared to those from their universe. After all, those geniuses of theirs had all surpassed the 9th tier of the Divine Space Realm the moment they were born. There was really no way to compare them. However, they could see that Qin Yun had great potential. If he were to surpass the Divine Space Realm in the future, his strength would definitely not be weak. As for how far Qin Yun could grow, they were still unsure. This kind of thing was hard to say. Some people indeed had great potential, but in the later stages, due to some unknown reasons, they would become stagnant. This kind of situation was quite common. Seeing that Qin Yun was still standing, the ancient Yu clan's elders were overjoyed. The other elders of the heaven-splitting ancient clan looked at Qin Yun with envy. They are very clear that the reason why Qin Yun was able to win was because he cultivated mental universe power and also because he was able to erupt his divine universe power many times over. Although they hadn't examined Qin Yun, they could guess that Qin Yun had definitely tempered a divine universe heavenly bone. Previously, Qin Yun had tempered and strengthened 108 divine universe golden tendons. At that time, it was already very surprising. Therefore, even if Qin Yun cultivated the divine universe heavenly bone, they would not find it too strange. The elders of the ancient Yu clan were secretly pleased when they saw the envious gazes from the other clans, but their expressions remained calm. A few elders of the ancient Yu clan had decided to take Qin Yun in as their last disciple. Although Qin Yun was Shao Qihong's disciple, Shao Qihong only imparted inscriptions to Qin Yun. He was only Qin Yun's master. As for cultivating divine cosmos power and mental cosmos power, there was currently no one to guide him. The elders of the ancient Qin clan were also secretly transmitting their voices, wanting to snatch Qin Yun over. They believed that Qin Yun's surname was Qin, so they had enough excuses to pull him into the ancient Qin clan. The elders of the Shao ancient clan are also discussing in secret, especially grandmother Shao Hong. She knows that Qin Yun is Shao Yuelan's husband. Since Shao Yuelan has joined the Shao ancient clan, Qin Yun can be considered the son-in-law of the Shao ancient clan. They also had a sufficient excuse to rope in Qin Yun. At this time, an old man from ancient Yu clan said, "Friend from Blue Cosmos, you said before that as long as someone can defeat your warriors, they will be rewarded. This young man Qin Yun is very good in all aspects. To be honest, he is not good at fighting because he is an inscription master." On the other side of the blue universe, the young man said with a look of surprise, "Inscription master? The runes of your universe are very powerful. If you use them properly and further excavate the power of the runes, you could become even stronger." The young man glanced at Shao Qihong as he spoke. "Qin Yun is my disciple," Shao Qihong said in a clear voice. This is also the first time he publicly said that Qin Yun is his disciple. The elders of Ancient Yu clan can also see what the Qin Ancient clan and Shao Ancient clan are planning, so they hurriedly asked Shao Qihong to speak. The young man from Blue Cosmos said with a smile, Interesting. It is not easy for your divine desolate to give birth to such a human. He still has 4 more battles. I want to see if he can win next one." Qin Yun recalled what Shao Qihong said before. These people from the outer universe all respect strength. As long as you show great strength, you can gain their respect. Although Qin Yun's current strength is not as strong as those 9th-level Divine Space Realm experts from Blue Cosmos, if he can show great strength in the same level, then he is an expert of the same level. Those big shots from Blue Cosmos will think of Qin Yun as their imaginary enemy. If they're 3rd-level Divine Space Realm experts, can they defeat Qin Yun? After thinking about it, they think that it will be very difficult to defeat Qin Yun, so they think of Qin Yun as an expert. Next, the 2nd, 4th-level Divine Space Realm warrior from Blue Cosmos came out. He is also a young man. This young man looks shorter than the previous one. He is not as strong as before, but he has a very sharp aura. He is not like the arrogant one from before. Although he looks like a young man, he has a rare calmness. The young man has blue skin, and the clothes he wears are very simple. "I am Bahao, please advise me." The young man is very polite, cupping his fist to Qin Yun. Qin Yun also has a smile on his face. This guy is stronger than the previous one. His entire shoulder and back are divine space, heavenly bones, not to mention his limbs. Taishur said, "Also, his mental power should be around 100. You have to be careful." The 5 4th-level Divine Space Realm experts selected from Blue Cosmos are all trash that are very difficult to find. Like the previous one, who was so arrogant as a trash, mainly because he came here and saw a bunch of people weaker than him, so he was full of confidence. But the Bahao in front of Qin Yun is very calm. He guessed that Bahao in Blue Cosmos should be a trash that many people spit on, but he is still strict in his cultivation. He's a very good youth. This kind of opponent is definitely very strong and also very respectable. But no matter what, Qin Yun must defeat his opponent. He must display his formidable strength so that he can borrow Divine Space golden stones from the heaven-opening ancient race's big shots. Divine Desolate will soon fall into turmoil. At that time, business will definitely not be good, and it will be even more difficult to find or to obtain Divine Space golden stones. Battle begins. Bahao directly attacked Qin Yun. He did not use any graceful movement technique. In just a blink of an eye, he directly closed in on Qin Yun. The divine space power and mental power on his body mixed together and shot out through his palm. Bahao's palm does not have any moves. It is just very fast and fierce. The explosive power directly attacked Qin Yun's head, and his body feels like it is being burned. Although Bahao's palm is very fast, it still hit empty air. Qin Yun narrowly dodged. Bahao's palm hit the ground, causing a large earthquake, but it did not split open. This place is very sturdy. Bahao is somewhat stunned. Not only did his attack miss, Qin Yun also did not use his saber to counterattack. Qin Yun believed that if he did not use a weapon and smoothly defeated his opponent, he would be able to display his strength. So when he dodged Ba Hao, he put away the myriad heaven divine saber. He wants to fight with his bare hands. After Ba Hao's attack missed, he did not immediately pursue. He knows that with his speed, it is very difficult to attack Qin Yun at close range. So he can only wait for Qin Yun to attack. At that time, he can counter every move. Chapter 3024. Ba Hao has blue skin and regular facial features. His steadiness does not match his age. It is clear that he is a person who has experienced many trials and tribulations. At this moment, Ba Hao is facing Qin Yun with a serious expression. He is treating Qin Yun as a strong enemy. It can be seen that this battle is very important to him because he cannot lose. Qin Yun can see from Ba Hao's eyes that this youth from the blue cosmos is already prepared to fight, but he does not want to die. I cannot lose this battle. How many Divine Universe Golden Stones I can borrow will depend on my performance today. Qin Yun continued to take more Divine Universe Golden Stones to deal with the upcoming great changes. When the great changes come, it will be difficult to obtain a large amount of Divine Universe Golden Stones. If Qin Yun can obtain some Divine Universe Golden Stones and reach a certain cultivation level, it will be even easier to obtain Divine Universe Golden Stones. In the Divine Desolate, without enough strength, even if you know where to find Divine Universe Golden Stones, you will not be able to obtain them. In the blink of an eye, Qin Yun and Ba Hao have already exchanged dozens of moves. At the beginning, Ba Hao fought cautiously, but later on, he entered a crazy fighting state. Everyone present felt their scalps go numb watching this. Every time Ba Hao attacked, he did not leave a way out for himself. He wanted to perish together with Qin Yun. He did not even hesitate to use his own life in exchange for this victory. At the beginning, Qin Yun thought that Ba Hao was fighting with all his might to obtain the reward for winning. But now it seems that is not the case, because Ba Hao is fighting with a will to die. He only wants to win, not to survive. This means that the harvest after winning is far greater than Ba Hao's life. Qin Yun fought Ba Hao with his bare fists. Although he is at the third level of the Divine Universe realm, he can fight equally with Ba Hao. He can fight more steadily than Ba Hao. Even when facing Ba Hao's desperate fighting, Qin Yun can still fight in an orderly manner. This victory is actually more important than his own life. Then, there is only one possibility. It is to save someone more important in his heart. Is this youth sacrificing himself to save others? Qin Yun can continuously recover Divine Universe power. Just based on this point, he is in an invincible position. He could have defeated Ba Hao earlier, but now he has fallen into a dilemma. Qin Yun can see from Ba Hao's unswerving gaze that this youth's heart is filled with sorrow. This battle did not last long. Originally, Qin Yun could have defeated Ba Hao quickly, but he did not attack heavily. In the end, it was actually Ba Hao who exhausted all of his divine cosmos force and fell to the ground, unable to get up. Qin Yun let out a long sigh and said, "This battle is very important to me. Thank you for letting me win. Thank you." Ba Hao lay on the ground. His eyes were filled with despair as he said indifferently. At this moment, Lan Yu, who was floating outside the small island, shouted angrily, "Ba Hao, your opponent is at the third tier of the divine space realm, and he didn't even use a weapon. He even showed mercy to you, yet you actually lost to him. You really are trash." This Lan Yu person was a young man. He was not tall and looked very fierce. He was not the leader of this group of Lan Yu people, but he had quite a bit of status and his aura was very strong. "Big Brother Wong, please be merciful and give me the antidote to save my parents. I really did my best." The exhausted Ba Hao immediately crawled up from the ground and kowtowed to the Big Brother Wong. Qin Yun knew that this young man wanted to save someone very important to him. That's why he was willing to give up his life. "Your parents are both trash. If my antidote was exchanged for money, it would be equivalent to tens of thousands of their lives. You lost this battle and humiliated me. Don't even think about obtaining the precious antidote." That Big Brother Wong said coldly. "Wang Mingtai, the people you found are really disappointing, They didn't even win a single battle, ha ha. The young man, leading the Lan Yu people, laughed loudly. Clearly he did it on purpose. Wang Mingtai felt humiliated and became even more furious. He angrily rebuked Ba Hao. Dog trash, did you see that? You humiliated me, so don't even think about getting the antidote. Ba Hao knelt down in front of everyone and begged for the antidote. Now that he heard Wang Mingtai's words, he could not help but lie down on the ground and loudly cry. This kind of cry of despair infected many of the heaven-opening ancient race people present. Most of the people who have gone to the outer verse have experienced this kind of despair. They can only watch as their friends and family are killed by the outer verse people, and they could do nothing but run away with tears in their eyes. Wang Mingtai, you can't blame Ba Hao for losing. The main responsibility lies with you. Qin Yin suddenly said. Everyone is slightly startled. Qin Yin actually wants to attack the Lan Yu people, who are 9th-level divine space realm experts. Don't think that just because you defeated 2 of our trashes, you can strut around in front of us. What right do you have to say that it is my fault? Could it be that my eyesight is too bad, and I found a trash among trash? Wang Mingtai said with sneer. You poisoned Ba Hao's parents and used the antidote to force him to fight, causing him to not have a good mentality. How could he win? Qin Yin said. Little demon, don't slander me. Do you believe that I won't kill you right now? Wang Mingtai angrily rebuked. Ba Hao, who is lying on the ground, can't help but tightly clench his fists. He definitely knows that his parents were poisoned by Wang Mingtai. You said that the antidote is very expensive, right? Generally speaking, the price of poison and antidote are the same. Ba Hao's parents are trash. Who would use expensive poison to deal with them? And it just so happens that you have the antidote. Qin Yun indifferently said, They provoke their own enemies. What does it have to do with me? Moreover, being poisoned is not necessarily by people. It is also possible that they were bitten by some poisonous creature. Wang Mingtai flew into a rage and shouted at Qin Yun. If you talk nonsense again, I will tear your mouth apart. Qin Yun faintly smiled. Poisoned by people, bitten by poisonous creature. The control of this poison is very good. It is not enough to kill Ba Hao's parents and give Ba Hao enough time to search for the antidote. Bastard, you insist that I poison them? Wang Mingtai's eyes are filled with killing intent. He shouted at Ba Hao, Ba Hao, you damn trash. Did you bring your trash parents? Take them out for everyone to see. There are many experts here. They can definitely see whether this poison is man-made or not. Ba Hao called over a youngster who is even younger than him. This youngster is Ba Hao's younger brother Baiyu. Baiyu took out 2 boxes from his storage divine tool. The boxes are very cold. There is ice inside. There are 2 Lan Yu people frozen inside. They are both Ba Hao's parents. What surprised Qin Yun is that Ba Hao's parents look like youths, but they are at the 8th or 9th level of the divine space realm. They can't be considered trash, right? After all, Wang Mingtai is only at the 9th level of the divine space realm. Of course, many people can't see it. Qin Yun has the divine mirror of primordial beginning in his hands, so he can immediately confirm it. So strong. At least half of his bones are divine universe, heavenly bone. Taisher said. Ba Hao looked at Qin Yun with a grateful gaze because Qin Yun is clearly helping him. Others may not know, but Ba Hao is very clear who poisoned his parents. Soon after, Wang Mingtai invited the people of the other 2 cosmoses, as well as the 8th and 9th level divine space realm elders of the heaven-splitting ancient race to the small island. Chapter 3025. Qin Yun opened his heavenly eye and circulated his mental power in his eyes. He looked at Ba Hao's parents. Because Ba Hao's parents have blue skin, it is very difficult to see any signs of poison. Or perhaps, this kind of poison can appear on the skin. His parents look like they're sleeping soundly. They're lying inside a box filled with cold air. After careful observation, Qin Yun discovered to his shock that inside the abdomen of Ba Hao's parents, there's a thumb-sized thing squirming. It is a poisonous bug. This poisonous bug is golden in Qin Yun's eyes. It is curled up on a few golden granules. Those are the eggs of the poisonous bug. What kind of poisonous bug is this? It can actually kill 8th or ninth level divine space realm experts. Qin Yin is extremely apprehensive. At this time, Wang Mingtai and a large group of people landed on the small island and surrounded Ba Hao's parents. Everyone, please look at this couple's navel. Wang Mingtai took out a stick and very skillfully pulled open Ba Hao's parents' clothes, revealing their abdomen. Their navel is naturally blue, but if you look carefully, you can see that it is a bit cracked. What made Ba Hao and Ba Yu very angry is that Wang Mingtai actually used a stick to pierce through Ba Hao's father's navel. Ba Hao and his brother are very weak. They have no power and no influence. They simply don't dare to offend Wang Mingtai. Moreover, he is still waiting for Wang Mingtai's life-saving antidote. He can only endure. Did you see I easily pierced the stick below the navel? This is because the poison drilled in through the navel. When I examined his parents before, I discovered that there is poison inside their bodies. I was afraid that they would act recklessly, so I did not tell them about this matter. And this kind of poison is something only I could detoxify. Wang Mingtai finished speaking and indicated everyone present to look inside the abdomen of Ba Hao's parents. Everyone present took out all kinds of tools to examine. They're all very careful because this kind of poison can kill 8th or ninth level divine space realm experts. All the experts present are 8th or ninth level divine space realm experts, so they're very curious about what kind of poison can kill 8th or ninth level divine space realm experts. Wang Mingtai's hands are behind his back. His face is filled with contempt. He coldly looked at Qin Yun and said, "Little demon, with your ability, you definitely can't see anything. You should ask your family's elders. They will surely be able to verify my words. I can see it is indeed a poison." Qin Yun said, "You slandered me before. I can't let this matter go. Just kneel down and admit your wrongs to me. I, a great man, will not stoop to petty offenses." Wang Mingtai snorted. "I can prove that it was you who put the poison into Ba Hao's body." Qin Yun said again. Wang Mingtai laughed angrily. "Ha ha! Heaven-splitting ancient clan, look at your brat. He's still so stubborn." "Qin Yun, forget it," an elder of the heaven-splitting ancient clan said in a low voice. "Qin Yun, let's focus on studying how to cure Ba Hao's parents. Ignore everything else." "That's right. Detoxifying the poison is more important. We, the heaven-splitting ancient clan, have a deep foundation. We might be able to figure out how to cure it. Little brother Ba Hao is a good person. We are also willing to cure his parents." Granny Taiwa said. This kind of poison was obviously very difficult to cure. If it was not difficult to cure, an expert in the 8th or ninth tier of the divine space realm would definitely be able to directly force the poison out, and he would not be in such a half-dead state. Ba Hao was very moved. He found many people in the blue cosmos, but none of them were willing to cure his parents. They even said that this kind of poison is very difficult to cure. And the heaven-splitting ancient clan didn't even need to beg. They were willing to try to cure it. Of course, the elders of the heaven-splitting ancient clan are also doing this to appease Qin Yun. They don't want Qin Yun to anger Wang Mingtai. "Little brother Qin Yun, I am the leader of the Blue Cosmos diplomatic mission, Gao Linqing. Using this kind of dirty method to threaten people will damage the reputation of our Blue Cosmos. If little brother can prove that it was done by Wang Mingtai, I will definitely punish him severely. Of course, if you can't prove it, you are slandering our diplomatic mission members and slandering the reputation of our Blue Cosmos. I will make you pay the price." Gao Linqing said. No one knows who Gao Linqing is siding with, but in many people's eyes, he is siding with Wang Mingtai. Originally, you could have just knelt down and admitted your wrongs, but now the leader has spoken. "Qin Yun, what do you plan to do?" Wang Mingtai is very proud. Ba Hao said to Qin Yun in low voice, "Qin Yun, us two brothers are very grateful to you. Let's leave this matter at that. He is very clear who poisoned them, but he can't prove it. Otherwise, he would not have fallen into this kind of situation. I will prove it." Qin Yun arrived beside Ba Hao's parents, looked at the box inside, and said, "There is poison inside their bodies. It indeed entered through their navel. You can see fart. You were just putting on an act. I want to see what kind of trick you can play." Wang Mingtai said with sneer. The poison is a poisonous insect. This kind of insect has already laid eggs. It must have absorbed the energy inside Ba Hao's parents' body to smoothly lay eggs. Qin Yun said. Wang Mingtai's expression changed. Everyone present can only see the rough outline of the poisonous insect, but Qin Yun can see that it is a poisonous insect. Moreover, he could see the eggs. Even Wang Mingtai couldn't tell that there were insect eggs. Detoxification is very simple. Just take out the poisonous insect. However, the poisonous insect only listens to its master. If you forcibly cut open the stomach to take out the poisonous insect will sense danger and kill the host. Qin Yun said, the poisonous insect has always been controlled by someone. It only releases an appropriate amount of poison to poison the host, and then slowly absorbs the host's energy to reproduce. Wang Mingtai's face is expressionless. He only sneered a few times and said, then how can you prove that I am related to the poisonous insect? Ba Hao, do you believe me? Qin Yun asked. If you believe me, I will immediately take out the poisonous insect. I believe you quickly. Ba Hao is worried that Wang Mingtai will control the poisonous insect to kill his parents, so he hastily urged. Wang Mingtai indeed controlled the poisonous insect just now, but he discovered that the poisonous insect inexplicably went out of control. This caused him to be greatly shocked in his heart. Just when Wang Mingtai is about to use all his strength to control the poisonous insect, Qin Yun used mysterious penetration divine ability and placed both hands on the abdomen of Ba Hao's parents. He took out the poisonous insect and the insect eggs. Actually, they are two dazzling golden insect nests. Even Wang Mingtai is shocked by this scene. He is completely stupefied. All the seniors present immediately retreated. Only a few seniors who have good relationship with Qin Yun are at his side, ready to take action at any time. They are all worried that Qin Yun will be bitten to death by the poisonous insect. These are poisonous insects. Qin Yun looked at Wang Mingtai. So what if they are poisonous insects? But you still can't prove that I am related to the poisonous insect. Wang Mingtai said in cold voice. Uncle, Aunt, you should be able to wake up now, right? Qin Yun looked at the young couple inside the box. Ba Hao's father is 9th level divine space realm and mother is 8th level divine space realm. If they fight, they may not be afraid of Wang Mingtai. Wang Mingtai saw Ba Hao's parents' body move, and his expression immediately changed. Even if the poisonous insect is taken out, Ba Hao's parents still have poison in their body. It is impossible for them to wake up so quickly. It will take at least several days. Wang Mingtai is very clear about this point. Chapter 30:26. A complete copy update the latest chapter of the Nine Sons Divine King as soon as possible. Ba Hao's parents only moved their bodies a little. They did not get up immediately, but it was enough to scare the guilty Wang Mingtai. Fortunately, Wang Mingtai was very calm. Seeing that Ba Hao's parents did not wake up immediately, he quickly calmed himself down. When Ba Hao and Ba Yu saw their parents move, they immediately ran over to check on the situation. Most of the people at the side were at the 8th or 9th tier of the divine space realm. Even though they had come from the 3 outerverse realms, they were still very curious as to what was going on with that golden venomous bug that could actually control someone at the 8th or 9th tier of the divine space realm. Now, the 2 poisonous insects are in Qin Yun's hands. Everyone is still somewhat worried, afraid that the poisonous insects will suddenly attack. Even if Ba Hao's parents wake up and say that I poisoned them, there is still no evidence. In order to help their son, they will definitely slander me. They will still have no evidence. Wang Mingtai sneered. As long as there was no evidence, he would not admit it. Without any concrete evidence, Wang Mingtai could just pester endlessly to exonerate himself. Previously, everyone had not believed that Wang Mingtai would use poison, but now they began to doubt it. This was especially true for the aliens of the Blue Universe. They had never known that Wang Mingtai knew how to use poison. Moreover, he had used it so brilliantly that he would not poison people to death, but instead he would leave them half dead. People who used poison would be feared no matter which universe they were in. They would make people stay away from them, and it would be hard for them to gain the trust of others. In a situation where both sides had the same strength and equipment, the only way to win quickly was to use poison. As long as the poison was used well, it could even control others, torture them to the point where they wished they were dead, or force them to become slaves. Therefore, for experts in the 8th or 9th tier of the divine space realm, they would all keep a distance from people who used poison to avoid being secretly harmed. Especially after they saw other people in the 8th or 9th tier of the divine space realm being poisoned, they would be even more vigilant. Wang Mingtai was also very clear about this, so he absolutely could not admit that he had used poison, and he also had to make people believe that he did not. Otherwise, his reputation would be ruined in the future, and it would be difficult for him to gain the trust of others. "Brat, have you had enough? Quickly apologize to me." When Wang Mingtai saw that Ba Hao's parents had yet to wake up, he felt even more confident. Qin Yin looked at Blue Cosmos diplomatic mission and said, "Your leader said that if I can't prove that Wang Mingtai poisoned me, he will make me pay the price. So I will do my best to prove that Wang Mingtai is the one who poisoned me. You're trying to slander me for poisoning, aren't you? I'm not afraid of Crooked Shadow. I like to see what tricks you can play." Wang Mingtai looked at the head of the diplomatic mission, Gao Lin Qing, and said, "Brother Gao, I'm sure you won't believe this brat's nonsense. If he can't produce any evidence, please punish him severely." Gao Lin Qing nodded and said, "I will." Qin Yin also took this opportunity to rest his divine universe heavenly bone. The battle with Ba Hao just now was a battle of attrition. Although he could use the God King Heavenly Seal to replenish his divine universe strength, the divine universe heavenly bone was still somewhat fatigued. He still had 3 more battles to fight. Taking advantage of this time to rest, he could allow his divine universe heavenly bone to be in a better state. Qin Yin sealed the 2 nests of poisonous insects in 2 pearls. No one knows what he wants to do. "Qin Yin, you'd better hand over the poisonous insects to us. These things are very dangerous in your hands." Wang Mingtai said, "The poisonous insects should come from our blue cosmos. They could be considered as something of our blue cosmos. You can't take them away." As Qin Yin expected, the 2 nests of poisonous insects are very precious, so Wang Mingtai is very anxious now. Qin Yin said with sneer, "Although the poisonous insects come from the blue cosmos, they belong to Ba Hao and Ba Yu's parents. Didn't you leave them to die before? You even insulted Ba Hao and his parents, but now you have the face to ask for these 2 nests of poisonous insects?" Everyone secretly nodded. They can see that these poisonous insects are not simple. They are indeed precious. Ba Hao cried and begged Wang Mingtai to help him detoxify the poison, but Wang Mingtai remained indifferent. Why should he take their poisonous insects? "Big brother Qin, the poisonous insects are yours. Although my parents have not woken up, my brother and I have agreed to give them to you." Ba Hao said. The 2 brothers are right beside their parents. They can feel that their parents are gradually getting better and will wake up very soon. As long as their parents can wake up, they're not afraid of Wang Mingtai. They're now a lot more confident, but they still don't dare to directly criticize Wang Mingtai. Therefore, they admire Qin Yin very much. His cultivation is not high, but he dares to challenge Wang Mingtai. "Brother Gao, you can also see that those 2 poisonous insects have many eggs. These poisonous insects can also poison 9th level divine space realm people. Even if it is us, I am afraid we can't block them, and the antidotes in my hands are limited. Most of the people in this cosmos are very weak. If they want to harm us one day, they will definitely use these poisonous insects to deal with us. Please take back the poisonous insects and let me handle them. I want to use them to research better antidotes." Wang Mingtai tightly grabbed Gao Linqing's arm. His face is filled with worry. Wait for Ba Hao's parents to wake up and let them decide who the poisonous insects belong to. Gao Linqing expressionlessly said, "No, it is best to force Qin Yin to hand over the poisonous insects now. We can't let them fall into anyone's hands." Wang Mingtai hastily said, "Let me deal with the poisonous insects in front of everyone so that people won't panic." Wang Mingtai started to instigate the other two outerverse cultivators. But the other outerverse cultivators simply watched on as the drama unfolded. Or it could be said that those two outerverse people are not afraid of poisonous insects at all. Only Wang Mingtai is afraid. The poison in Ba Hao's parents' bodies is indeed gone. When Qin Yun captured the poisonous bug, he injected a special devouring power into the poisonous bug's body. Through the poisonous bug, the poison released was taken back. The poison released by the poisonous insects is like silk. It spread all over people's body and formed a large net to absorb the energy. The poison silk is also a part of the poisonous insects. So Qin Yun ingeniously used the devouring power to quickly absorb the poison silk through the poisonous insects. "Father, mother, you are awake. This is great." Ba Hao cried in excitement. These past few days, he and his little brother have been under great pressure. They were worried that their parents would suddenly die. This kind of suffering is the most torturous. Moreover, they clearly know that Wang Mingtai poisoned them, but they can't do anything about it. Instead, they are being insulted and threatened by Wang Mingtai. The Ba couple opened their eyes. After seeing Wang Mingtai, their anger soared to the sky. Although they are currently very weak, the aura of divine cosmos power on their bodies is still very strong. Ba Hao's father, Ba Taiyin, cursed Wang Mingtai after he woke up. "Wang Mingtai, you damn bastard. You never planned to cure us of the poison. You wanted to use our bodies to breed poisonous insects, and you even wanted to use our son." Chapter 30:27. A complete copy update the latest chapter of the Nine Sons Divine King as soon as possible. Wang Mingtai was already prepared to not admit it even if he died, so he was relatively calm at the moment. He said, "It seems like you guys woke up just now and can hear the voices outside. It's true that Qin Yun is your savior, but you guys helped him harm me. This is your fault. B*TCH, you were the one who poisoned us. I remember clearly the process of you putting poisonous insects into our stomachs." Ba Hao's mother, Li Qianqin, had already stood up and looked like she was going to kill him. Seeing how angry the couple was, everyone was even more convinced that the poisonous insects were released by Wang Mingtai. "You have no proof. What evidence do you have?" Wang Mingtai said coldly, "I'm a member of the diplomatic mission. If you kill us, aren't you afraid of the Great Blue Empire looking into it? Don't forget, my father is a viscount in the Great Blue Empire, and I am also one of the nobles of the Great Blue Empire." The Blue Universe actually had a Great Blue Empire? Was it the strongest force in the Blue Universe? Qin Yun never expected the Blue Universe to be composed of such factions, with the Empire being the strongest. There were quite a few of these factions in the Nine Desolate Lands, but the God Desolate Lands was dominated by the various races. It was like a plate of loose sand. If they could establish an empire, their power would be more concentrated. Of course, the composition of the Heavenly Court and the Divine Court of the Myriad Realms was led by the Nine Yang Law Spirit. It wanted to develop into the strongest faction in the Divine Wilderness, but due to various reasons, it had never succeeded. Gao Linqing said, "Wang Mingtai is the son of a viscount. This kind of thing can't be done so carelessly. I guarantee that when I return, I will definitely report this matter to my superiors and request for a thorough investigation. You nobles only know how to bully us commoners. Investigate? Investigate my ass. We can't punish the nobles. Even if we find out that he did it, we can't do anything to him." Ba Taiyin said angrily, "This is not the Blue Universe. I'm going to kill that bastard Wang Mingtai here. I'm never going back to the Blue Universe. Please don't be angry. This is the Ancient Garden City, a special diplomatic location. You can't mess around here, or we'll take action." An elder of the heaven-splitting ancient clan tried to persuade them. Wang Mingtai pointed at Qin Yun and said angrily, "Damned brat, this is all because of you. You slander me first, and then you have the Ba couple cooperate to harm me. Are all of your universe people so malicious?" Gao Linqing said to Qin Yun, "Qin Yun, If you want to prove that Wang Mingtai poisoned you, just the Ba couple's words are not enough. How about this? Each of you take a step back and apologize to each other, and this matter will be settled. Gao, in heaven. Gao Linqing signaled to heaven, ancient clan elders of the long as possible. As long as possible. The elders of the heaven-splitting ancient clan also knew that if they continued to make a fuss, things would definitely become very tense. So they hurriedly walked towards Qinyan. Sister, are we just going to let it go like this? Xiao, as he, Wang King, long as. Xiao Yuanmei is watching from the distance. She is very angry. She tightly grabbed the corner of her clothes, gnashed her teeth, and said, I really want to tear that bastard to shreds. He actually dared to curse my brother like this. I wish I could go over and stab that bastard's stinky mouth. Xiao Yuanlan said coldly. Seeing her husband being insulted, as a wife, she is naturally angry. Although Yu Shangyun is not saying anything, she also has the same idea. She wants to rush over and chop Wang Mingtai into pieces. Even the elders of the heaven-opening ancient clan are trying to persuade my brother. It seems like this matter will be settled like this. AI, the bad guy's not been punished, is truly unbearable. Xiao Yuanmei very willingly sighed and said, that little demon Ba Hao cried so miserably and suffered so much humiliation, but now he can only look on helplessly as the bad guy curses his enemy. He can't do anything. I believe that little husband will definitely punish that bastard. Xiao Yuanlan said, there is no evidence. Even if there is evidence, it will be Blue Cosmos diplomatic mission that will take Wang Mingtai away and then go back to drink 3 cups of wine as punishment. It will not be able to punish Wang Mingtai. Xiao Yuanmei shook her head and said, almost everyone present thinks so. Even the Ba couple, after they calmed down, they realized that even if there is evidence, they will not be able to do anything to Wang Mingtai. Wang Mingtai is a noble, and the Ba couple are lowly commoners. Moreover, they're not dead yet. Therefore, when Wang Mingtai returns, he will at most be cursed a few times and punished symbolically. Heaven-opening ancient clan's elders are trying to persuade Qinyan to stop here. Regardless of whether or not Wang Mingtai will be punished in the end, I will prove that he is the culprit. Punishing Wang Mingtai is your Blue Cosmos matter, but proving that he is the culprit is my matter. I will not back down. Don't try to persuade me. Qinyan suddenly took out a pearl. Inside it is a nest of poisonous insects. Seeing the poisonous insects, everyone is alarmed. Many elders around Qinyan promptly retreated. Only Xiao Qihong and others are still by Qinyan's side. Qinyan grabbed a poisonous insect from the pearl and held it in his hand. Seeing this, everyone's scalp went numb. This poisonous insect can poison 8th or 9th level divine space realm experts, and yet Qinyan is holding it in his hand. Even Wang Mingtai is secretly apprehensive looking at this. The Ba couple immediately cried out in alarm, telling Qinyan to be careful of the poisonous insects. Everyone immediately recalled that Qinyan previously very casually grabbed the poisonous insect from the Ba couple's body. He is not afraid at all. Qinyan is only 3rd level divine space realm, but he is not afraid of this kind of poisonous insect. This is also a manifestation of his strength. Moreover, he can even detoxify 8th or 9th level divine space realm experts. This made many elders have no choice but to re-evaluate Qinyan's strength. To control poisonous insects, you must erase their consciousness and then refine one of your soul and one spirit into the poisonous insect's body. Only then can you control them. Just now, I used a special technique to seal the soul and one spirit inside the poisonous insect's body. Qinyan grabbed the poisonous insect and stared at Wang Mingtai. Wang Mingtai's expression is very calm, but he is panicking in his heart. Qinyan is proficient in soul-refining technique, so he just cut off Wang Mingtai's control over the poisonous insect and sealed the soul that Wang Mingtai injected into the poisonous insect. For Wang Mingtai, not only are the poisonous insects precious, the 2 souls and 2 spirits inside the poisonous insects are also very important. I only need to use a little technique to make the soul and one spirit inside, the poisonous insect, suffer unbearable pain. This means that Wang Mingtai will also feel pain. This way, it can prove that Wang Mingtai is controlling the poisonous insect, and the poisonous insect is Wang Mingtai's. Qinyan said, "You?" Wang Mingtai's body trembled. His body condensed a very powerful divine space power. He wants to attack Qinyan. Qinyan is surrounded by several elders of the heaven-opening ancient clan. Several golden Yu clan heavenly talismans suddenly appeared around Xiao Qihong's body. He is in front of Qinyan. He can completely protect Qinyan from Wang Mingtai's attack. Chapter 3028. A complete copy update, the latest chapter of the Nine Sons Divine King, as soon as possible. Wang Mingtai looked at the golden bug in Qinyan's hand and felt extreme hatred. He wished he could trample Qinyan to death. After all, Wang Mingtai came from the number one power in the Blue Universe, the Great Blue Empire. Although his cultivation level wasn't high enough in the Great Blue Empire, he was still a noble. Now that Wang Mingtai had arrived in a world where low-class people like the gods desolate lived, he, Wang Mingtai, should be high and mighty. However, it was one thing for a ninth-tier divine space realm expert from the divine wilderness to not give him face, but even a third-tier divine space realm brat dared to be arrogant in front of him. Wang Mingtai, don't mess around. When Gao Linqing saw Wang Mingtai's reaction, he was sure that the poisonous bug was indeed Wang Mingtai's. Brother Gao, we are both from the Great Blue Empire. You should stand on my side, Wang Mingtai said. He really hoped to get Gao Linqing's help. However, the people you've harmed are the people of the Great Blue Empire. You poisoned Bahao's parents, and I helped them detoxify the poison. Now, you want to kill me? Qin Yun pinched the golden venomous bug and said with a sneer, Wang Mingtai, are you going to admit it yourself, or am I forcing you to admit it? Once I start torturing the poisonous insects, I won't stop. You should know how painful it is. Wang Mingtai glared angrily at Qin Yun, his eyes nearly spewing out angry lightning to shatter Qin Yun. When Qin Yun said that he wanted to prove that Wang Mingtai was the culprit, everyone initially thought that it was impossible. And now, not only did Qin Yun want to prove it, he wanted Wang Mingtai to admit it himself. When Xiao Yuelon and the others saw this from afar, they suddenly felt much more comfortable. Qin Yun's cultivation level was not high, but in the gods' wilderness, he was a headache for the various major factions. Many hegemons and major factions that believed themselves to be invincible had suffered at Qin Yun's hands. There was no need to talk about the dead. The Great Divine King, Law Enforcement Realm King, and many other big shots of the Divine Desolate Land who were still alive had suffered greatly because of Qin Yun. The seniors of the heaven-splitting ancient clan had heard of Qin Yun's means, but they had never seen it with their own eyes. Now, they were experiencing Qin Yun's prowess up close. Qin Yun, you can't torture me at all. Your cultivation is so low. How could you have such an ability? I think you're deliberately lying to me. Wang Mingtai laughed and said, You can take out poisonous insects. You can suppress poisonous insects is indeed powerful. But if you want to use poisonous insect to make me suffer, you are gravely mistaken. What? You don't plan on admitting that the poisonous bug is yours? Asked Qin Yun. The venomous insect isn't mine. I almost fell for your trick. Wang Mingtai laughed and said, Come on, you can start now. I want to see what other tricks you have up your sleeves. The venomous insect's body indeed contained a part of Wang Mingtai's soul and a part of his physical body. After cultivating the soul god space, his soul would naturally become stronger. Even if a part of his soul and a part of his physical body were separated, he could cultivate them again in the future. As long as Wang Mingtai was willing to sever the connection between the separated souls, Qin Yun would not be able to torture Wang Mingtai. Wang Mingtai had cut off the connection just now, and then he tried to cut off the connection between himself and the venomous worm. After confirming that it was a success, he dared to be very confident. Qin Yun pinched the poisonous bug tightly and released a special flame specially used to burn souls. This kind of flame is formed from runes passed on to him by Tai Shi. It has a miraculous effect on powerful souls. Wang Mingtai's expression suddenly changed because he suddenly felt very hot. At first he was sweating profusely, but then his entire face distorted. "Ah, so hot!" Wang Mingtai loudly roared, rolling on the ground and frantically grabbing at his clothes. And now, everyone can see that Qin Yun is releasing a red flame to roast the golden poisonous bug. Seeing this scene, everyone present sucked in a mouthful of cold air. Wang Mingtai came from the blue cosmos and is a 9th-level divine space realm expert. Moreover, he has many divine universe heavenly bones. All the seniors present are very envious of this young 9th-level divine space realm expert. They are very clear that Wang Mingtai's strength is not weak. But now he is rolling on the ground in pain because of a small poisonous bug. "Commander Gao, do you think that the venomous bug is related to Wang Mingtai?" Qin Yun said with smile. "If there is no relation, then I will continue to roast it. In any case, roasting the venomous bug is my own matter. Wang Mingtai's pain is his own matter. There is no relation between the two, right?" Gao Linqing's complexion is very unsightly. On one hand, Qin Yun is not giving him any face. On the other hand, Wang Mingtai is raising such a dreadful poisonous bug. He even attacked his own people and used it to threaten Ba Hao. Ba Hao brothers and his parents saw Wang Mingtai roaring on the ground and felt very happy in their hearts. At the same time, they are also very grateful to Qin Yun. "Wang Mingtai, you have never suffered like this before. You should know what to do now, right?" Gao Linqing said coldly. "It's mine, the venomous bug is mine. Quickly make that bastard stop. I plead guilty, I plead guilty." Wang Mingtai loudly shouted. "Qin Yun, Wang Mingtai plead guilty. He poisoned my Great Blue Empire's people, and the place of the incident is also Great Blue Empire. Therefore, this matter must be handled by our Great Blue Empire. We are very grateful to you for exposing Wang Mingtai. Now, please stop and let us take Wang Mingtai back to deal with him," Gao Linqing said. Qin Yun withdrew the flame. Wang Mingtai twitched on the ground and then stood up shakily. His entire face is distorted with hatred. His expression is incomparably fierce and furious. He stared at Qin Yun like a poisonous snake. "Damn brat, you have guts." Wang Mingtai took a few deep breaths to calm himself down. Then he laughed loudly and said, "The venomous bug is mine. I indeed poisoned the Ba couple. But what can you do? When I return to Great Blue Empire, at most I will be scolded, I will not suffer any serious injuries." Gao Linqing's expression is very unsightly. He can only silently close his eyes. Wang Mingtai looked at Ba Hao and his family and said with sneer, "You trash, it would be best if you never return to Great Blue Empire, never return to Blue Cosmos. Otherwise, you will suffer. Ba Hao, you little trash, stupid and trash. I never thought of detoxifying your parents because I don't have any antidote. Ha ha ha. I only wanted to use your parents' lives to raise my venomous bug, but you don't know and still want to work for me like a dog." Ba Hao's family looked at Wang Mingtai furiously. They wanted to eat Wang Mingtai alive. They couldn't do anything to Wang Mingtai right now. After all, Gao Linqing and the others were still very strong. Furthermore, there were also the elders of the heaven-splitting ancient clan present. "Commander Gao, look at Wang Mingtai. Are you not going to do anything?" Ba Hao very angrily asked. "I already said that I will take him back. There will be specialized people to deal with this matter. He is a noble. I have no right to privately deal with noble children," Gao Linqing said in cold voice. "Little trash Ba Hao, do you think I only have one move to deal with you? I still have another move." Wang Mingtai took out a golden bracelet and then proudly laughed sinisterly and loudly. It's Xiaozhan's bracelet. It's the engagement token I gave her. Where is she?" Ba Hao madly shouted and wanted to rush out, but was hastily stopped by his father. Chapter 3029. A complete copy update the latest chapter of the Nine Sons Divine King as soon as possible. Qin Yun's eyes flashed coldly as killing intent surged in his heart. This Wang Mingtai is truly vicious. Not only did he poison Ba Hao's parents, he even captured Ba Hao's fiancée. The seniors present all knew what kind of person Wang Mingtai was. Wang Mingtai targeted Ba Hao's family not only to control Ba Hao, but also for another purpose. Little Hao, don't be impulsive. Don't be fooled by that bastard. Li Qianqing grabbed her son's hand tightly. She was also very angry at the moment. Little Hao, don't worry. I'll make that bastard pay a painful price, even if I have to risk my life. Ba Taiyin said in a deep voice. What about little Zhen? What about Xiao Zhen? Ba Hao shouted. It was obvious that he loved his fiancée very much. Wang Mingtai said with sneer, Little trash Ba Hao, if you tell that bastard Qin Yin to return my poisonous bug, I will give that little girl Xiao Zhen to you. Sure enough, the poisonous insects were very precious to Wang Mingtai. Not only because his soul was inside the poisonous insects, but the two poisonous insects and the other eggs were also very precious. Ba Hao looked at Qin Yun. His eyes are filled with pleading. He knows that poisonous insects are very precious, and Qin Yun also wants them. Therefore, he does not dare to open his mouth, because Qin Yun has helped him too much. I want to confirm that Xiao Zhen is fine. I want to see her. Qin Yun said, No, give me the poisonous insects first. 2 poisonous insects, 2 insect nests. You have to give them to me first. Wang Mingtai saw that he had the upper hand and shouted, Wang Mingtai, don't push your luck. Qin Yun said coldly, Do you believe that I will start burning the poisonous insects right now? You dare? Wang Mingtai couldn't help but tremble and angrily shouted, If you dare to burn the poisonous insects, I will kill Xiao Zhen. Go ahead and kill me. If you kill little Zhen, I guarantee that you'll wish you were dead for the rest of your life, and your soul will be tortured for tens of thousands of years. Qin Yun's voice is very calm as he said, I and Ba Hao are neither relatives nor friends. Furthermore, I saved Ba Hao's parents. I don't owe him anything. Ba Hao gritted his teeth and wiped his tears. He shouted, Brother Qin, don't worry about us. Hurry up and torture that bastard to death. If Xiao Zhen dies, I'll die with her. As long as that bastard, Wang Mingtai, lives a life worse than death, I don't care even if I die. This scene infected the crowd. At this moment, in the eyes of the crowd, Wang Mingtai was an unforgivable evil demon. When Wang Mingtai saw everyone's gaze, he felt a chill down his spine. Of course, he was most afraid of being tortured by Qin Yin. Having been born into a noble family, he could not endure the pain of torture, much less tens of thousands of years. Just the thought of it made his scalp tingle. Qin Yin had already taken out 2 poisonous bugs and was about to roast them. Wait, let's each take a step back. You give me a poisonous insect first, then I'll hand over Xiao Zhen, and you give me the rest of the poisonous insects and the 2 insect nests. Let everyone here bear witness. Wang Mingtai suddenly shouted. Everyone present cursed at Wang Mingtai for dragging them into the water. All right, Qin Yun placed a poisonous insect into the bead and threw it to Wang Mingtai. Wang Mingtai caught the bead and then carefully injected his mental power into the bead. He established a connection with the poisonous insect and can control it again. After confirming that the poisonous insect is fine, Wang Mingtai took it out and played with it in his palm. Then he took out a big box. He controlled the box to fly over and float in front of Ba Hao and others. Ba Hao wanted to open the box, but was stopped by Qin Yun. Let me do it, Ba Taiyin said. He understood Qin Yun's intention. He is afraid that there is a trap in the box. The Ba couple opened the box together and saw a blue-skinned girl lying inside. She is Ba Hao's fiancée, Xiao Zhen. What surprised Qin Yun is that Ba Hao's fiancée is actually at the 7th level of Divine Space Realm. She is much stronger than Ba Hao. This blue-skinned girl is motionless, but she opened her eyes. She has a talisman on her body. Xiao Qihong waved his hand a few times and removed the talisman. Xiao Hao. Xiao Zhen jumped out of the box and threw herself into Ba Hao's bosom, tightly hugging him. Wang Mingtai coldly groaned and shouted at Qin Yun. You can give me the 2nd poisonous insect and the 2 poisonous nests. Wait, I want to make sure that there is no other problem on Xiao Zhen's body. Qin Yun opened his heavenly eye and at the same time used the ancient beginning divine mirror to examine Xiaozhen. Xiaozhen naturally knows that Qin Yun is her savior. Just now, Ba Hao secretly transmitted his voice to her and told her many things. Xiaozhen is also very cooperative with Qin Yun. Qin Yun took out the second bead. There's a poisonous insect inside. He threw the bead to Wang Mingtai. Wang Mingtai very excitedly caught it, then checked it once and established a connection with the poisonous insect. What about the two insect nests? Wang Mingtai shouted again. At this time, the two poisonous insects are crawling and playing on Wang Mingtai's palm like pets. Previously, the insect nests were also inside the two beads, but just now, they were separated by Qin Yun. Everyone is now somewhat afraid of Wang Mingtai because he can control these two dreadful poisonous insects. If he suddenly unleashes his power, the consequences will be unimaginable. Even Gao Linqing is secretly afraid of Wang Mingtai. He is worried that Wang Mingtai will control a large number of poisonous insects and target him in the future. Therefore, he could only compromise with Wang Mingtai. I will give it to you now. Just as Qin Yun was about to take out the insect nests, his mind moved. He saw Wang Mingtai's expression change, and then he shouted loudly. The two poisonous insects in Wang Mingtai's palm suddenly flew up and rushed towards Wang Mingtai's face. One of them drilled into Wang Mingtai's eyes, and the other drilled into his nostrils. This scene is both disgusting and terrifying. It caused everyone's hair to stand on end. In the blink of an eye, the poisonous insect disappeared and entered Wang Mingtai's body. Wang Mingtai's voice trembled. He screamed in fear. Save me! Save me! I am suffering backlash. I am suffering backlash. Wang Mingtai screamed miserably. Qin Yun, you little bastard, you vicious little bastard. Wang Mingtai, it was clearly you who played with fire and burned yourself. Why are you blaming me? It was you who told me to return the poisonous insect to you. You also confirmed that the poisonous insect is fine and even took it out of the pearl to play with it. You can't control the poisonous insect. It has nothing to do with me. You have no evidence, yet you speak nonsense. You are slandering me. Qin Yun said. It is obvious that this was done by Qin Yun. Compared to those golden poisonous insects, everyone is even more afraid of Qin Yun. Wang Mingtai is a 9th-level Divine Universe Realm powerhouse with a large number of Divine Universe heavenly bones, yet he was tricked into such a state by Qin Yun. It is better to die than to live. Qin Yun looked at Wang Mingtai's pitiful appearance and sneered in his heart. You call me little demon? You are a 10,000-year-old fox that was tricked to death by Grandpa Qin. Yet you still dare to call me little demon? Brother Gao, quickly save me. Quickly save me. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. If I die, how will you explain this to my father? Wang Mingtai shouted. Could it be that you are just going to helplessly watch as I am killed by Qin Yun? You clearly reaped what you sowed. You don't have the strength, yet you raised such a dangerous poisonous insect. Now that you are suffering backlash from the poisonous insect, you can't blame anyone else. Gao Linqing coldly said. He wished for nothing more than for Wang Mingtai to die. The face of their great blue empire has been completely lost by Wang Mingtai. If it weren't for Wang Mingtai's father pressuring him, Gao Linqing would not have brought this kind of playboy here. Chapter 30:30. Wang Mingtai is rolling on the ground in pain, but it doesn't look like he was poisoned. The Ba couple only fell into a deep sleep after entering their bodies. But now, Wang Mingtai's appearance was completely different from the Ba couple. At a glance, it was clear that Qin Yun must have added something or done something to make Wang Mingtai suffer so much. Qin Yun was only at the 3rd firmament of the divine space realm. Furthermore, he was able to easily defeat a 4th firmament divine space realm expert from the blue universe. Not only did he possess an extremely powerful detoxification technique, he even managed to torture Wang Mingtai, a 9th firmament divine space realm expert, in such a state. You save me quickly. Wang Mingtai is in great pain. He ate a lot of pills, but it was useless. He shouted at Qin Yun, "I know I was wrong. I know I was wrong. Quickly save me. Quickly save me." Wang Mingtai is not only suffering from incomparable pain, he is also about to lose his life. He is very afraid of death and even more afraid of pain. He can only admit defeat and beg like a dog. Qin Yun is indifferent. It is as if this matter has nothing to do with him. As long as he refuses to admit it, no one could do anything to him. After all, there is no evidence. Must have evidence. This is what Wang Mingtai said before. "Big brother Bahao, Master Qin, I know I was wrong, know I was wrong. Please let me go." Wang Mingtai doesn't feel so much pain anymore. He quickly got up and crazily kowtowed to Qin Yun and Bahao. Respect is not important to him. He has never suffered this kind of pain before. In just a moment, all his dignity and arrogance have been shattered. King Wang Mingtai's pain has not disappeared. It is still continuing. Wang Mingtai is in pain again. He is rolling on the ground and screaming. "You are wrong. I am very gratified, but there is nothing I can do." Qin Yun sighed. "You saved me the way you saved Bahao's parents. I will definitely thank you." Wang Mingtai endured the pain and begged. "How will you thank me?" Qin Yun is very short of Divine Universe golden stones. If he can ruthlessly extort a sum from Wang Mingtai, it will be very good. "I will give you a small Divine Universe crystal fruit. It is very expensive. I am reluctant to use it." Wang Mingtai shouted, "The Divine Universe crystal fruit can be sold for at least 200 billion Divine Universe gold stones in our great blue empire." The Divine Space Crystal Fruit was a manifestation of the Divine Space Crystal Flower. Qin Yun had a Divine Space Crystal Flower in his possession, but it had yet to produce any fruit. "What use does the Divine Universe Crystal Fruit have?" Qin Yun asked anxiously. "There are many benefits, and it can strengthen the Divine Universe Heavenly Bone. After tempering the Divine Universe Heavenly Bone, it needs to be strengthened. The strengthening process is extremely difficult, but eating a Divine Universe Crystal Fruit can rapidly strengthen it." The pain in Wang Mingtai's body weakened by a great deal, and his words became much smoother. Qin Yun was delighted. It turned out that the Divine Space Crystal Fruit had such benefits. No wonder the Divine Space Crystal Flower was so valued by the people from the Nine Sun Sacred Ground. Ba Grand Yin arrived beside Qin Yun and said in low voice, "Little brother Qin, Divine Universe Crystal Fruit is indeed very precious." Ba Taiyin and Li Qianqin had been poisoned by Wang Mingtai before. They wanted to take revenge, but they wanted to repay his kindness even more. They were also worried that Qin Yun would kill Wang Mingtai in order to avenge them. So they reminded Qin Yun that the Divine Universe Crystal Fruit was very precious. The couple felt that Wang Mingtai's punishment was enough. Letting Qin Yun fish up some benefits now is the best. After all, it was a Divine Universe Crystal Fruit. "I could try to help you take out those 2 poisonous insects, but I can't guarantee success. Also, you have to give me the Divine Universe Crystal Fruit first," Qin Yun said. The seniors at the side are very envious. The heaven-opening ancient race has researched the Divine Universe Crystal Flower for many years. They didn't know its specific uses before, but now they finally know. Wang Mingtai is not in so much pain now. He can take out the Divine Universe Crystal Fruit for Qin Yun. Anyone with a discerning eye can tell that Qin Yun is definitely doing this to make Wang Mingtai feel less pain. Qin Yun began to help Wang Mingtai take out the poisonous insects. The Ba couple are by Qin Yun's side. Xiao Qi Hong and the elders of the Yu ancient clan also came over to protect Qin Yun so that he wouldn't be killed by Wang Mingtai. This little divine king is really scheming against people one after another. He is clearly scheming against Wang Mingtai, and Wang Mingtai doesn't even dare to fart. He even has to kneel and beg Qin Yun to help him cure the poison, kneel and beg for forgiveness. This kind of method made the seniors dumbfounded. They know that the divine king of the divine desolate is not to be trifled with. In the future, they have to be more careful and not offend this little divine king. They suddenly felt that it is very strange. Why is the great divine king still alive? He actually hasn't been killed by Qin Yun. Only some young ancient clan people know that the great divine king colluded with the cat ear people and killed a group of young ancient clan miners. The great divine king has already escaped. It is not good for this matter to spread, so the young ancient clan did not publicize it. Regarding the cat ear people occupying the mine, it was Qin Yun who told the young ancient clan's former emperor Yang Dingyuan to inform the higher-ups of the young ancient clan. Of course, Yang Dingyuan did not mention the details of Qin Yun going to the mine. Qin very quickly. Yin took out 2 shriveled poisonous insects from Wang Mingtai's body. However, they are purple. It is unknown what is going on. They are not as dazzling as before. Damned poisonous bug. It was killed by the medicinal pill I just ate. King Wang Mingtai is no longer in pain. It is impossible for him not to hate Qin Yun in his heart. Indeed, after confirming that he is fine, Wang Mingtai returned to Gao Linqing and the other side. Right now, he does not seem to be grateful to Qin Yun. His eyes are filled with hatred. Like a poisonous snake, he stared at Qin Yun and said word by word, "Qin Yun, I will not rest until you die." He was stunned. Wang Mingtai still hadn't given up yet. "You still want to find me for revenge?" Qin Yun asked. "Although there is no evidence to prove that you did it to me, as long as you're not an idiot, you can see that it was you who did it," Wang Mingtai said coldly. "Just you wait. I will definitely not let you off. I will definitely tell my father, and at that time, I will find you to fight to the death." Qin Yun said with a smile, "I am only in the 3rd layer of the divine space realm. You are in the 9th layer of the divine space realm, yet you want to bring your father to fight to the death with me? Are you joking? I am standing here. If you want to find me for revenge, come now." Wang Mingtai looked at the people beside Qin Yun and said coldly, "You said you want to fight me one-on-one? Or do you want to bring the people around you?" No matter what, Wang Mingtai is still in the 9th layer of the divine space realm. Even if he knelt on the ground and begged for mercy, he is still in the 9th layer of the divine space realm. No matter how strong Qin Yun is, it is impossible for him to defeat Wang Mingtai. "Little Qin, it is enough," Xiao Qihong said in a low voice. "You have already gained a lot this time. There are still 3 more battles. You have rested for so long. You should be able to handle them, right?" Everyone was enlightened. Qin Yun was deliberately stalling for time so that he could rest and deal with the next 3 battles. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.